ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown, but we both know how to swim, no worries, let's float for now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment 'cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. We crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly. Crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, you seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Time of year carries memories like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing just like another season. Don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season. You came into my life just like another
the Invoker, right? Are we going to be, we're going to see like a Quaswex Invoker, right? Go Spirit Vessel against a Morphling. Like you said it yourself. If anybody's going to be carrying this team, it's going to be Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, if they get past like the 25-minute mark on even footing, I think they got this. The Medusa Morphling or the Medusa Invoker lineup, but I know the pace that VP's been setting. We talked about their lane dominance so far. Morph's going to have such a free time, which means everyone else gets to do whatever they want, and I think that's going to lead to some pretty snowbally 15-25 minutes.
All right, if Team Spirit hopes to be able to take down the big dogs of Virtus Pro, it all starts with having a successful laning phase. Let's see if they can pull that off with Pixel and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, an exciting series here, of course. VP versus Team Spirit, the top two right now in the league. And Carl, what do you make of this? We are seeing the GPK morph come through, and overall, it does look like a pretty nice morph game.
Indeed it does. Indeed it does. And he should have a pretty nice matchup, too, against an Invoker. You've got a 15 base damage advantage to start the laning phase. That is just unreal. When players of this skill go up against one another. And I gotta say, Virtus Pro, their draft, relatively simple. I think they're gonna have a free farm Tiny as well. And then they're gonna hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sort of see them having any issues in the laning stage? Like, are there any sort of lane matchups that might be a bit tough for them?
Perhaps if you overstep, you know, Clockwork can be really annoying to deal with, especially for a hero like Underlord. But my concern is that I look at Spirit's lineup and I just don't see easy ways for them to make plays, to find kills. I agree with what Brian and Cap are saying. I'd love to see an Export Invoker, but if you do that, what's the play, right?
Sure,
it's just Sunstrike setups with Shadow Demon, and like that's how you're gonna kill things. It's just a lot of combo required.
Let's see here, around the runes. Begins. Team Spirit. They are gonna force Nightfall away here from the top one, so Spirit. We'll start off with the 3 bounties.
The cast point improvements, the only reason you can get that off used to be I don't think you could cast that while Clock was on top of you.
Oh, let's see. I mean, obviously on this top lane, with the fact that they are running the GPK morph, having this safe lane Tiny, are you a fan of this sort of dynamic when it's a good game, sort of have that carry hero in the mid,
oh yeah,
down in the hands of someone like GPK, and then get Nightfall to be that, you know, that hero that's going to be secured safe lane farm with the build up for his first time, you know, get that blink early on, and then he's just going to be looking to make plays.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think if you can get away with it, it's way better to have your win condition in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And Tiny, all he needs is Blink Dagger level 10. So keep that in the safe lane. You know, it's pretty impossible to really punish a Tiny, even if you fall behind the lane. Like a toss back is always threatened. This is a bit rough though. Save is not doing well. That could be a courier, but he actually ignores it completely.
So make sure he gets out of the range of Miposhka. Poshka was able to get him with another battery, so I mean, still save.
He's just dead.
He has got boots as well himself. It's going to be close. Can he get enough hits in Miposhka? One more. He's got it. First blood there. Save just a little bit all over the place there with his movement down there around the front.
That was very weird. He just got effectively solo killed. He might know that there's a ward there. I think that was the main reason Miposhka was able to continue chasing in that.
Yeah.
But still, you don't expect that. You don't see it every day.
No, and I like this one from Miposhka instigating the wind lay sent out as well, so now he's easily going to have that movement speed advantage.
Oof, big snake. That's so huge for Medusa because you just get full mana right off the bat. I like this build from Yotaro too. I see a lot of Medusas just going for the heavy stats, but yeah, looks like double Wraith into Treads, into Rush Manta. It's such a good item now on Deuce after the change. You have so much more uptime, more damage output from the illusions as well. It was the hero I think most impacted by the Manta change. In second place, perhaps this one right here, the Morphling.
Yeah.
I'd say Luna, but Luna I don't believe in as a hero. Needs a lot more than a Manta change.
And we're seeing this mid lane matchup. It's pretty much as you said. You know, this is what you expect. I mean, this is maybe a bit more brutal than you'd expect. You know, we're seeing 13 to 9 against the 6 for 0, or this.
Hey,
this is just
look at the damage. Click the heroes. Like, how are you supposed to outlast hit somebody that has, you know, an extra 2 creeps where he can kill it and you can't? Like that's an impossible creep for Invoker to last hit because Morph can kill it, He misses that one, unfortunately, for my point. But Invoker can't deny.
It's hard. It's very tough. But this is something as well that you got to take into account. Like Spirit, you know, they know the matchup. They would have known that this was going to happen,
yeah,
right? They put this mid. Their game plan, you know, for them, it doesn't matter that the Invoker has a tough lane because they picked this into this.
Maybe. Oh, I think he's maybe dead. DM. Oh. Wow.
He's actually going to get away, and it'll actually be Mposhka taken down. Same time, top lane collapse. He's going to get the spear back onto Nightfall.
He's through the tree.
He's actually got the damage. They'll take out his courier. Nightfall's got the fairy fire, but there's a lot of poison stacking up and enough to bring Nightfall down. The kill done, Team Spirit. Collapse. Wants to get another. In fact, with the spear up, he might just be able to do so. Has to set him onto Kingslayers. Team Spirit there with a straight up outplay. Take out the two of them.
Really well done. The only thing really going wrong for Spirit right now is that the mid lane's a disaster.
Sure. I mean, and that's, as I say, they knew that this was going to happen. So if you consider that, well, you
GPK is a bit of an X factor. It's the same when you play against a lot of these top tier guys. You know, suddenly a matchup that you thought was maybe a losing one, but bearable, well, then it's Sumail, or it's GPK, or it's Thompson. You're like, damn, this is way more imbalanced than I thought it was.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they were expecting to get a little more out of the matchup, because it is indeed proving to be very tough for Toronto Tokyo. See again down bottom, very close to bringing down DM at this top lane. Really nice call as well, especially. But we'll see this play that Team Spirit make after getting Nightfall, you know, collapse, knowing that there's still more work to be done. He may be sitting around on sub 100 HP, but he knows with a wraparound and a good spear, there's another kill to be had.
Yep. Really nice play. 1000 HP level 4 with the bracer. Nice stuff.
We'll see here around the mid, Mposhka.
This is really nice. You control Morph's runes, makes the Quaswex Invoker significantly stronger. You're always hitting the EMP.
We'll see, you know, I think we will see Toronto Tokyo now starting to catch up a little bit now that the levels are coming in. He's got a bit more to play with in the lane. We'll see how much of the gap he can close whilst it still remains in this 1v1 mid.
So far, all 3 lanes going VP's way, even though they are a bit down in kills. CS is on point. And the concern I have is that it's one of those games where VP have no incentive to mix up the lanes until they have, you know, items online. Support's level 6, Tiny with a blink. I don't know if Spirit can afford to let them do that, but at the same time, how are you going to make rotations? It's going to have to be the Invoker TPing to a side lane. Sure. You're not going to make a play on Morphling in this game. You just don't have the stuns.
Top seeing collapses, struggling a little bit to get in onto the creeps. Gap continuing to grow between him and Nightfall in this 2v2.
I think he saw that ward. Yeah, you see the toggle. Sentry just came in. They're going to find this.
Keeping your Toro on his toes here. Hard to make a move on him though. Mposhka by his side. Top lane, Nightfall. Got the damage. Oh,
you didn't click that.
He didn't need to land it. He didn't need to land it. They get the kill.
I don't know why you can click it. It's not a boomerang. You know, there's no tracking component to a tree. But yeah, targeted ability.
You're welcome.
Collapse. Line up Kingslayer here. The level 3 spear. And he's got the connection. Wow, the damage. Just able to straight up walk in and take him down. Nightfall comes in with the combo. Now he's going to end up taking a lot of damage as well himself. With the poison upon him, Nightfall has to back off. Both teams just sort of finding opportunities to just walk down these poor supports.
Yeah. Surprised he allowed that to happen. Nice job. We are will get that stack.
You 30 boy.
You see him mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Being aggressively here to try and play around the EMP. But honestly, with things said and done, this mid lane, you see on the net worth, you know, Toronto Tokyo, he catches up. You know, this is why they picked this Invoker. He knows that even with the tough few waves that he's going to have on the early levels. Once the game starts to pick up a bit and the Invoker's got his skills ready to go, Toronto, Tokyo, he's easily able to start closing that gap on GPK's farm.
Yep. And he's doing good. Pushing the tower is really nice in this scenario too. He knows he can push GPK back to base, so get some pressure off in the meantime. A big part of it, I think, though, is the clockwork controlling the runes. 2 of them have been denied at GPK. When you're a bottle rush Morphling, that's pretty devastating. You don't want to be forced to buy regen. Whereas Quaswex Invoker, you get free regen thanks to the Quas spam, and then later you're just burning mana consistently. Gets 3rd damage on tower while GPK's gone, not bad.
He's playing this really well at Toronto, Tokyo. GPK gonna try and get in aggressive, but Toronto, Tokyo more than okay. Bottle charges and Fairy Fire ready to go. Save does come across, but I'm not to get in on this. It's just gonna be around these 8-minute rune spawns. See what's there to be found, and it is down bottom. So again, Team Spirit with the superior rune control.
Ooh. I didn't realize there was a bottle Invoker. We don't see that very often at all. Right?
No, for sure. No, it is something a bit different. I guess we're just down to the fact that they know, as you said, they're going to prioritize just stopping the Morph getting his runes so much that, why not play with the benefit of using that regen for yourself?
That's true, and you don't have any other heroes in your team that are buying bottle. Maybe the clock would, but definitely want to have at least one core with it. Such a valuable item.
Oh, very solid stuff from Team Spirit around this mid.
The typical passivity we've come to expect from the Eastern European region, though. Very methodical game on both sides. This is the first time we've really seen anybody switch lanes, and it's just for some pokes from the Willow. Doesn't need to help his Underlord too much anymore. DM is actually enormous. Early Hood, Arcanes, skipped the Soul Ring. He had such a good time. He'll have a Hood finish momentarily, and then he just straight up doesn't die. Yeah. Like, he's pressuring the Medusa. Look at the amount.
With the setup onto Toronto, Tokyo. Be able to take him down and push down to push back the Dark Willow here with the Cogs. They've got the Cold Snap and the MP down onto GPK. GPK, he's out of mana. They're running him down. Kingslayer and Save trying to help out. He will not be able to turn around that final bit of burst of mana, but still keeps the distance. Doesn't want to get in onto Mirror. Save actually taking a lot of damage here from the neutrals as well. Save's gone. Tries to dive in to push them back, but ends up losing his life for it. Time's been brought now to collapse, to swing across from the top lane. Kingslayer, he's not getting out either. As Team Spirit, they've got the numbers. They're able to turn things around, set Toronto, Tokyo up for a double kill, as this mid lane is just going better to better.
I mean, why did they stick around, Owen? That was wild. Like, you had 3 heroes, VP, or Spirit rather. Like, they brought 4. And not just that, you're trying to, like, dive with a Willow and an AA. Like, Morphling doesn't have the damage to close kills here, and Invoker Clock alone provide more than enough damage and disruption. Very odd maneuver there, but it does buy some space. Top lane was pushed in by Nightfall. Now he TPs, and they'll probably get a free tier 1 out of this. Just stand behind DM, let him hit it. Has the Hood. He's not really a target for anybody anymore.
Tower is under attack.
But Dusa will do the same.
Yep.
The old switcheroo.
Straight up to the top off. And so far, a 6-2 1k lead. You are looking at this mid area. They're playing around their Invoker very nicely. As you were sort of saying on the panel, it's this game for Spirit. It's a lot on how much Toronto Tokyo can do, and so far these early signs looking pretty strong and solid for their idea of what they're going to achieve around.
Yeah, and all's well that ends well. You've got a Medusa Invoker top the net worth charts. No pressure at all on Yatoro. This is fine with me if you're Spirit. Trading Tiny Farm for Medusa, you'll do that all day.
They're not quite able to get in range there for a setup. This VP play it safe.
Players here.
Nice entry. Fresh word taken out. Really well done.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The light, of course, found here for VP. The trinket. Stay in the hands of either GPK or Nightfall.
6 wards destroyed already. Yeah, he got the one bottom in the lane as well earlier on, which used to just be like, oh, that's cute, but now as a support, it's so rewarding. Not just the psychological factors, the limitation of the vision, but the golden XP, man. And here's the Shadow Demon effect.
Yeah, talk about golden XP, Toro. Got a lot to clean up here. Very nice for him.
Radiant's top tower.
And with the lack of vision as Spirit being able to have that wall control, very hard for VP to make any sort of aggressive move into the triangle as Spirit. So Not even as we're seeing a huge rush to take down the stack. Yatoro can
Radiant
take him as he wishes.
structures are fortified.
See, the top wave was pinged out by Toronto Tokyo. Not sure why. Nice movement from the Willow here, just to scout the stack, see what's going on.
Well, what can they do about it? I see that it's happening, but can VP really put something together over it? I don't think they can right now.
It's more about the threat. So many heroes aren't showing.
And they got a hook shot. Save. Be able to get himself into the shadow realm. Good to hold him back. The tornado. Ooh, not quite catching him. So Save will manage to get out of there. I'll turn their attention over towards DM, but DM's got the rift going. They won't have the damage to take DM out before he's able to get safely out.
Radiant's top tower is under
I
attack.
think you take that, though. There's nothing being done on the map from VP, right? Bottom lane's just sitting there. So they had 4 or 5 heroes in the vicinity, but they're forced to just run away. The DOTA finishes the stack, almost. They're just going to stack it one more time, so that works. He'll get 2 free waves in the meantime.
So much farm there for Yatoro, prepared perfectly. Full vessel now done onto Toronto Tokyo, so stepping up the ability to make these moves, make these plays. VP, they're still trying to find that hit here.
Yeah, blink on Tiny, right? Yeah, this is going to be their first move.
Higgy jump. The setup in, go for the backlines, go for the support, and be able to blow up Mirror. Arena's down, tries the counterplay, Fear comes out, starting to push back collapse, but GPK's under the tower with the hookshot control as well. GPK trying to run. He's got to get out of it, Save's taken out. They have lost collapse, so 2 down on Spirit. Combo comes in onto Toronto Tokyo, it's not enough to kill it. A VP, they'll take 2, only losing 1 themselves. They're coming out on top there of that movement.
Yeah, that's a blink reveal, though. I think you're fine with this if you're Spirit.
Well, you're not losing your big calls.
Yeah, and VP, it's going to be tough for them to take these fights. GPK is not really a heavy damage dealer just yet. Underlord, sure, you're farmed, but like, how do these fights work for them? Like, they can get that first pick off, but Spirit, they have the Disruption, they've got the Purge, the Clock Hook, the Mars Arena, Medusa ult. This is a pretty tough team to run at.
Absolutely, Yatoro is going to hit these excellent timings. Manta style after this stack's pretty much going to be done here at 14 minutes in. Ridiculously fast farm here from Yatoro's DOTA this game.
Did you say ridiculously?
Ridiculously.
Ridiculously fast. No, you do have a point. And the one danger is that, as we've discussed, if you check out the Mars, he's got, I believe, a Soul Ring. He was going for a hood.
He's trying to get
hood and a pipe. So Underlord, sure, going the same items, but he's farming with just Q spam. Mars really likes to scale a bit better, and he won't be able to do so. It's going to be Medusa versus the world. VP will have a little more help just because this offlaner is going to be so beefy, and later in the game, the minus, it's the damage reduction, right? It actually like removes an item from Medusa in theory. Like so much damage disappears when you walk into range of that Underlord.
Dire structures are fortified.
All right. I mean, we see
toss out.
big confidence from him. Get tossed back, but he's able to get the stone gaze off, and with this, he'll start to back off. Jumping for the Tiny, but the combo's down, the arena's out, the Fear does come into play, giving Nightfall a little bit of safety. The pushback Spirit. Neither side actually ending up losing anyone. Both are able to disengage. I mean, a fantastic Fear there from the Willow. Otherwise, Nightfall would have been dead for sure in the arena. But able to save.
Yeah, you can see they just, I talked about the lack of stuns on Spirit. Well, VP, they really don't have that many either. It's stand in the pit, stand in the brambles, sure, but even with a great toss back, that's not enough to land the kill. Yatoro thought about going back to base. He was like, wait, I've got enough for a snake. I'll just go farm woods. That's exactly what he does. Big stack.
Just constant income here for Yatoro. Going to be going for that build that we are seeing favored nowadays on the DOTA, the Manta straight into the Ags.
Yep. And this is the net worth gap. It's straight up just because Yatoro can farm Ancients, and I believe as we watch Kingslayer do this, or Nightfall do the same, that's the first Ancient that VP have killed. The first camp. Yatoro, how many has he cleared? 6, 7?
Insane amount.
28%. Wow. Don't know the exact numbers, but stats don't lie.
And in this sort of game, are you okay with this as Team Spirit to have that much wealth on the Medusa? Because it's a pretty good Medusa game, or? Or how are you feeling at this stage, you think, of your Spirit?
Hard to say, really. It's going to come down to execution. I don't think either side has a massive draft or
under attack.
team fight advantage. It's just going to come down to how well you click your buttons. The area control from Spirit is better, but VP have significantly more burst and raw spell damage. But Spirit can certainly disrupt their combinations.
But who are you bursting if you're VP? Because like we saw that last fight, the way it started, it looked pretty ideal, right?
Yeah.
You're tossing in the Deucer. You said they couldn't actually burst or control her before she's able to pop the ult and walk away. I mean, so I guess the Deucer's not really the target.
It's the SD and the Invoker. I like DM too. He gets the pipe, but he'll go for the Atos next to add a little bit of extra control. That's been their issue so far. That hard lockdown makes it so the rest of their spells will just land.
So coming in aggressive with the wraparound, looking towards Miposhka. Miposhka's going to get some backup. The team's coming in. She collapsed, lay down the arena's trap saved. Over to the side, EMP comes down onto GPK and DM taking out a lot of that mana. DM is going to try for the rip down. They got the damage to take him out in time. Oh, it's blocked. They don't have enough. DM able to reset there for him and GPK.
That is sick. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They forced the buyback on Miposhka. Hook just out of range. On target, but falls short.
I did have to buy back for this Miposhka. Not able to get anything going.
Collapse once he uses Arena. Like, I don't know. That was a bit awkward. And it's the trouble. I'm telling you, man, I hate this build on Mars.
Well, you want to see a Blink or a Yules?
Yeah, a Blink, a Yules, or damage. Because at least damage, it eventually pays for itself. Because you're now clearing creep waves and a jungle camp at the same time it used to take you just to get the creep wave. But and you're more of a threat. Blink Yules, that gives you catch. You can actually threaten one of these big VP cores. The Hood is just like, well, I missed my arena, so that was my hero. You know, I'm done for now.
Sure, and it is a build that sort of resigns you to this level of farm, right? You're never going to see this Mars jump up the charts. Now.
Exactly.
He's pretty much saying, you know what, it's all on you, Deucer.
Yeah, and if you check out Invoker, Toronto, Tokyo, a similar idea. He'll go back for the Midas. I actually really like this, yeah. Because he went for a very aggressive build early on. Fully going Wex, Vessel. You need to have something, because otherwise, if you look at his net worth, he'll fall down to where the Mars is residing at a point. And you'll have this farm Medusa, but VP will have like 3 super fat cores and an AA that prevents a Satanic from ever being viable. Medusa.
That jump in immediately caught out by the tornado. See if they can still catch Mirror. They've got the rig down. They're in on top of the Shadow Demon. We're actually going to see an aggressive hook shot in as Miposhka is trying to break the fight up, but Mirror's already gone, and Miposhka, he's going to die for his efforts here as well. 2 supports taken down.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
I'm dead.
You know, they're always going to be able to get the supports. The cores, that'll be the trouble, but I do like the way they're playing. Really nice Dragonlance build as well. I think that's always a good decision when you're playing against a clock and an SD. You want to make it harder and harder for them to actually get appropriate spell usage, and in addition, makes it simple for him to hit in the pit, in the brambles. All the big AoE control of DM positioning is going to be key for this Virtus Pro side. They get a tier 2 at just 20 minutes and change.
They do. Some fast stuff there with the push of GPK's morph. 7-7, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Very much a game where, as you say, it's sort of the steady pace that we've come to expect. And definitely when we're seeing sort of a matchup between these two teams here at the top of the league. Some very sort of safe and calculated Dota coming out for them. Tora, he's actually going to look to the opportunity of starting to do the Roshan here with Collapse.
I don't know how much of a timing is this. We're going to find out.
How do they get away with this? I mean, it's obviously a bit of a difficult one. If VP do come across, they will have a fight to bring. But as we're seeing, you know, Spirit, they've got a lot of combo breaking. They have the Axe on Deucer, the Stone Gaze as well. You know, Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka, they're ready to really disrupt the fight if he gets brought to them. And it looks like VP...
got no idea.
They've not caught wind of the fact that Spirit have been able to sneak in here with the DD Medusa. And this is going to be a free Roshan for Spirit. This is huge.
Oh, yeah. No, it's even huger is that DD. I can hear Nahaz, his sigh of frustration in my ears. Why does DD work on Roshan?
Because what, that never happens without that.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe they make that same play, but you got to figure, like, AA Blast was thrown out, right? Like, that's going to find them in time. Instead, they clear it. And, you know, the win condition for Spirit, very obvious. It is all about the Deucer. What's Tiny? Tiny's got Blink Echo, so going for more of the burst style. Yeah, BKB next. Can we check out all the items to see if there's anything coming up anytime soon? But Team Spirit, they seem pretty comfortable going for the late game. The Ags timing so that they can look to take fights also helps the farm speed. Toronto with the Midas. VP, they went for fights. You know, Manta Manta Morph, Blink Echo, like they're in theory ready to go. But how do you go?
And
Dire's
it
top
is
tower
down the
is
line
under
going to get to that
attack.
point of how do you take this Medusa 100-0?
Yeah.
I do like what they're doing. I think they have to go this way. They need some sort of crazy outworldish damage. GPK, he is going to be going for the Axe next, so they can do the Morph Willow.
Yep.
And that in itself, that absolutely could provide the late game damage potential to really even threaten the Medusa if they can get the Morph Willow online.
It's like watching two
Dire
old
scanning.
Roman legions performing attrition
Dire's
warfare. You
middle
can see
tower is
DM
under
just pretty
attack.
much ditched. As soon as he saw enemy heroes, he's like, oh, I'm just going to try to channel my ultimate. Wasn't able to do so. Just gets out. But neither squad can take a fight that isn't on their perfect terms. 5-on-5, probably not even in the cards. Spirit, they invite your aggression. VP, pretty hesitant to give them what they want here.
Dire's middle tower is
And to
under
your point,
attack.
yeah, Ags
Dire's
with
middle
Willow,
tower
it's never
has
really,
fallen.
it's never bad. And it will give them the ability to outrange the Dusa.
Yeah.
They'll have all this control and muddle fighting around the pit and then raining in damage. The Trebuchet is firing.
I mean, they're really going to need it all. Yatoro's Medusa is so massive, so early on, you know, just 23 minutes in. And for the Dusa to be where they are
Dire's
right now
structures
is,
are
you know,
fortified.
for Team Spirit, I
Dire's
think they're going to
top
be
tower
very
is
happy with
under
this
attack.
early game. They haven't been run over whatsoever.
Radiant's middle
They've
tower
gotten
is
away
under
with
attack.
it big time. You know,
yeah.
Yatoro is just so far ahead of anyone else in the game right now.
Radiant structures
I think
are
you're pretty
fortified.
satisfied. Like, I think I came in expecting VP as a pretty heavy
Radiant's
favorite, but
middle
so
tower
far,
is under
pretty
attack.
even game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna try with some poke onto GPK. You get the spear, have they got the damage? Excellent fear yet again from Save. Push back the three of them. See? Yeah, with the Rift, they're gonna back out of this. They don't want to take this fight. Spirit coming in full force. VP immediately will get themselves out of there off the back of DM.
The thing is, Tiny's been. I keep looking at the minimap as these sorts of plays happen. It's always Nightfall who's farming off by himself. But is that a thing? He has the shard. That was early, just to ensure he could permanent tree grab for farming speed. But is this a thing?
I
Tiny
remember
carry?
from early in the league. I think when we started the season, Brian, when he got here, he was on about this. He tried it out and he said, you know what? With the new shard, carry Tiny, it could work. Like with the way that Tiny goes down, you know, you've got this insane amount of armor with the permanent tree grab. There's talents for it as well. Like, there is potential there. There is potential to be quite the late game carry.
We're gonna find. I mean, he's been the one farming ancients.
Yeah.
He's the one split pushing, and he's in spitting distance of GPK on the Morphling. So definitely gonna end up as one of this like 3-core versus 1-core setups. But again, then that Midas on Invoker, I'm telling you, it's gonna pay dividends. This game is not ending anytime soon.
Dire's
No,
top
this,
tower is
this is
under
what we
attack.
want to see. We're going to see this really scale up. And if anything, you know, it's sure it's a 1K lead for VP. I think that the biggest challenge is definitely on the shoulders of VP to see whether they can, you know, whether the fights against this Medusa.
Oh, so far, it's they've had to just call a cab. They're not willing to engage in any sort of bar fight. They're getting out well before last call. I like the build, yeah. You're going for Lotus next. Just beef it up.
Radiant are scanning.
Actually, what's the Lotus for? Do they have a 4-staff on somebody?
Well, I think you just
No.
you're looking to just Lotus GPK.
Sure, but
You want to protect this morph.
you don't have BKB, Owen, and you have no 4-staff. So Clockwork of Maposhka, yeah, he might be a 5 position, but he's effectively an auto kill if he catches the Underlord or a support.
See King Slayer working towards
Okay,
this. He'll have
somebody's the
pretty-
responsible one.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, there's so many items that feel good on DM. You know, as an Underlord, you don't really want a 4-staff as one of your 6. But as you say, definitely. The question is whether it's going to be enough just having it on the AA. There's also the option down the line for the Dragon Lance to turn into a Hurricane Pike. Of course, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon because it's not a very smart usage of gold on the morph. So many other items that GPK wants to be getting done. And the Ags, very close to being there. It's going to be there in 500 gold.
Just crazy how, you know, one of the cooler things about the DPC and the format, they think this is real, but they're going to find out. Nope. How the regional metas and gameplay sort of take on their own unique identities. Eastern Europe is so much slower than Western Europe, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just far more methodical. These teams are not, they're playing mistake-free when possible.
Yeah.
You know, you compare that to the OG, Nigma, Liquid playstyle. That's chaos.
Treasures.
Quite a nice one here for Yatoro. I think that's one of the ones he'd love to find. He gets the Paladin sword. So now for the Yatoro's now got the Paladin sword. He's now got the full Skadi. It's just looking scarier and scarier.
We'll see. VP, like, they've actually eked out a little bit of a net worth lead. This is my big concern. I like the Solar Crest as a pickup, but Mars with just a pipe is really going to be a negligible source of damage later on in this game. It's going to be Yatoro versus the world. They'll have a Solar, pop that on him, the Alacrity.
He's going to have a lot of buffs.
Make illusions of him with the Shadow Demon.
And it's off.
You can even see Mira playing with the illusion as if it's a hero, just continuing to pressure this top lane. There's the Ags, so the Willow damage will start to come out. Nightfall with the BKB.
Is under attack.
Top net worth on his team, truly a carry Tiny.
Oh, bombing the wave here, and Loucas got the lead in onto him. The spear connection as well, straight into the tree. Nightfall, he's going to get taken out. Farming a little too aggressively on the front, and nothing that the rest of VP could do to keep him safe once he gets caught by that combo.
Is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
CDM going to prepare here for the D push around the tier 2, but they are going to have to defend without their carry now. I'm coming in with the wraparound. Toronto, Tokyo, and Yatoro. Maybe see if they can set something up behind. Collapse has got the arena. He's going to start stepping in. He has the ult already. If he sees the chance to lock him down, TM. He's taking full damage hit from Yatoro. The fear will push him out, but the BKB's out for Toronto, Tokyo. They continue to focus in onto TM. TM will get the hit off, but TM will fall. Yatoro takes down another. So an aggressive zip in from GPK, looking for the waveform over towards Collapse. The arena's down, Collapse will fall. Toro continue to pummel into both GPK and Save. The freeze as well for the Stone says GPK's got to be careful. Because they've lost Save. GPK having to reset and get his way back to the fountain. We are seeing just the struggles of trying to do anything and trying to fight anywhere near Yatoro.
And you got to be really careful as well as GPK. He's playing against Vessel and Scotty. That's a lot of regen reduction. So the unkillable factor of this Morphling not really existing. You don't do enough damage yet. It's this dire side. Yatoro is just, I mean, how does he even have a Collapse? Just runs in. That's the initiation. There's a BKB to Invoker, and even though DM is incredibly tanky, you know, nobody can survive when they're just locked in place for this long.
Now we see GPK trying to go to work with the damage, but the BKB's out for Toronto, Tokyo, and at this stage, he doesn't really pose that physical threat that's going to be able to tear down these BKB'd heroes. As we see here, just no chance fighting against Yatoro here. They have to back off, they have to escape. They are going to need some sort of perfect execution, really, VP. It's a perfect team fight to ever threaten the Medusa. I don't know how they do it.
Radiant are
You
scanning.
and me both, Owen. And Maposhka's played a great game, too. This Clockwork, you know, it's underpicked, perhaps, the way we've seen it played in this DPC. Every hook seems to lead to a kill. Always there with the cogs. Doesn't matter which hero on VP you find. If they're isolated for long enough and Yatoro's able to beat into them, that's going to be a kill. Miroslav always trying to get the defensive disrupts off. They're actually more valuable. You know, they kind of invite aggression onto the Dusa, because if you can disrupt Save, you just give him a free manta. More than a manta, actually, of damage. Those illusions hurt. And as Fogged said so eloquently the other day, 14 seconds! They last for 14 seconds! He's very shocked.
As well, making sure that Yatoro is also the one getting the gold for some of the war taken down. So just continuing to do everything to propel the Dusa's farm at all costs. I mean, get a few hundred away from having a full Daedalus. VP, they need a big hit, they need a big move. But now, we got the combo. It's the jumping off the Shadow Deal, but actually having to get the self-destruction. They won't even be able to kill him off straight away. Mira is still alive, and now VP, after that initial burst, they've got to back off, but the arena's down. GTM starting to take him out again. They have to run, they have to get out of it, but they getting split apart.
Cancelled.
He did. He stopped it. They want to try and take this fight. They won't bring down Collapse. GPK getting it aggressive onto Yatoro. Yatoro starting to run low on the mana. He's going to get another snake off for Yatoro. He's got enough mana here with the mana shield. Purge trying to get in to help out. The supports are falling. Can they bring down Yatoro? He's getting low. They'll do it. They'll take down the Medusa. VP with a big brain call to stick around and push on as they'll get on top of this team fight. And they're not done yet. The pin's out to control Toronto Tokyo. Waveform in. Toronto Tokyo's out for the Ghost War. But Mirror will be left behind. VP just, I mean, how on earth they managed to see that opportunity there. An incredibly smart call to say, you know what, we can take this fight after they've struggled so many times, and they were absolutely right.
So I don't know how that interacted, but somehow Kingslayer Nightfall got out of the Mars Arena with that offensive Yules from somebody on the side of Spirit. That kept him alive, may have influenced DM's decision to stay there because suddenly the Tiny was guaranteed to live for that little bit longer. But really, I think Spirit overcommitting on the defensive abilities. They popped Dusa ulti and Arena. The Dusa wasn't really able to be used. They'd already disengaged. You got to be closer and more in danger. And now all of a sudden, into the pit.
Boom!
Away they go. They've got a hook shot. They can look for some aggressive sort of disruption here. Try and stop VP. See, Collapse. Trying to get in on this. DM. Gonna get caught by the Sunstrike. Roshan's down. They'll be able to pick it all up here. VP and already looking for action. Save. He's on top of Mirror. Mirror. Be protected by the pipe. Shoot it down, save, he'll die for this. The space was made. VP able to take everything away from Roshan this time round.
Hook coming in. Okay.
Pretty dead.
Very
GPK,
dead.
he's not going to go down anytime soon with both the Aegis and the cheese on him. Also close to having the money for the BKB.
Who's taking the shard? Morphling? Maybe. He's thinking about it.
He's holding on.
Should I be generous?
Yeah, he'll take it. Gonna buff up his game to the maximum.
It's pretty good. Especially in a game like this. You can expect longer fights, so more adaptives, more damage, longer stun. Oh, that's cool. Wait, he doesn't have it. He's thinking about it. Might go the Daedalus. I actually think that
He's changing because he got the Chrysalis and he's thinking, you know what, I need a BKB.
I don't remember who.
Yeah.
We were talking to somebody, weren't we? It was a BSJ, was it Owie? Like, this cold-blooded shard for Dusa is just OP in some people's eyes. Because you get the free snake, but it's also an ag snake. So it'll turn people to stone, interrupt, give back tons of mana, and it's a massive amount of damage. And there's so much single target, you can almost guarantee that it's going to proc a couple times in a fight. Goes to the BKB.
I was going to say, do you think that is necessary this game? You know, you're playing as Medusa. You know, normally as Medusa, you don't really want to have to buy the BKB, but this game, he feels it is necessary.
I'm honestly not a huge fan. I think that while the magic damage threat is pretty high, you need to deal more damage. Like, that's going to be your issue. Not how long can I survive, but am I actually enough to kill this Underlord and Tiny? And without a Daedalus, I'm not sure he's right for that. We'll see. There's a lot of damage amplification on his side, the Solar, the Alacrity. Perhaps that'll be enough. But they're going for even more healing reduction. Now with the Shivas, this is a tough game. I think you want to target Morphling when possible. The Aegis is frustrating, but you have so much anti-regen that the Morph doesn't really have Morph available.
G-Spirit's trying to take a fight into this Aegis and Cheese. Toro stepping up. Toronto Tokyo trying to get over the BKB. He's got to run. GPK being fully focused here by the Scarly Dusa. GPK, can he keep out of reach? He can. They've got the stone control to hold back. Medusa into the fear as well. Pushing back. Toronto Tokyo. Defensive destruction will come out in time to break the combo from VP. GPK will fall the want. Taking out Toronto Tokyo. Can they do anything about Yatoro? Nightfall stepping in with the BKB himself. He's in on top of Yatoro. Yatoro will just have enough mana to get the stone gaze off. As he pops that and the BKB's out to the side. Doesn't actually have enough mana to TP out himself, so he's just got to run for now. Won't catch Mirror. Gets away. Aposhka will catch him though. Dust comes in from Kingslayer. VP. I'll find the two of them. Team Spirit, they try and bring some action, bring a team fight towards VP, but they do not come out on top of it.
No, they do not. Now the map has gotten very spooky to play. That's going to be a Scotty on GPK, finished in full. I see, there you go. The BKB on Dusa, right? what does that accomplish? I think he gets away even without it just by popping Stone Gaze, and his damage output just is not scary. Could be a shard and nearly a Daedalus. Feel he may come to regret that purchase, but we shall see. Halberd picked up on DM, further damage reduction. Really like the way he's played this game so far, and you saw that was a Moon Shard on the Tiny, so
oh yeah,
he is a carry. I
mean, this is the perfect carry build. I mean, if you're going to do safe lane Tiny, Nightfall he's absolutely nailing it here. And he's keeping up in the scaling. You see, only slightly behind that of the Morph and the Medusa this game with as much farm as Nightfall's been able to pick up. Oscar. He had to break the combo with a glimmer, but Toronto Tokyo he gets jumped off to the side.
Again.
That's what the BKB and run there, nearly getting taken out instead there.
They've done a really good job, mostly from Nightfall, just finding Invoker at the start of every fight. If he isn't able to... Oh, wait, what?
Find him safe! He's caught him! That's Toronto Tokyo dead!
No buyback.
Getting caught outside of the base. 70 seconds, no Invoker. 500 or so gold short of a buyback. Spirit, they're going to have to try and hold us for.
And it's off.
I don't know. I mean, you have a Medusa.
Got Medusa. Getting aggressive. The Greener to pull up as well. They're looking to try and burst GPK. The BKB's out. You're torn. You don't have damage. They're trying to keep it far enough away from DM. GPK is able to zip over in time. With the waveform, GPK will get taken out. Save will be left behind.
Catch up with me. God,
the rest of VP will be able to back off. Successful defense, though, of course, from Spirit. A few casualties here and there on the supports, but they'll push back VP. We're very close to catching GPK there. We saw the Stone Gaze be a bit of a nuisance for DM, stopping him from really being able to close in onto the range of the Morph to take GPK out. But of course, as it was GPK, able to get that waveform off in time to get back into the embrace of DM.
I don't think they're going to have any plans on leaving enemy side. And watch this engagement. Another really good hook from Aposhka, you can see. Tries to get the cogs, but he doesn't even have a shot. Looks like he got chain stunned down. But forces Morph into that bad position. But DM, that's what, the 5th, 6th time we've seen him hop in, be the getaway driver?
I mean, yeah, his riffs have been pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
He's either taken them out, of course, in that one situation, knowing to sort of cancel the ride and stick around.
That was actually a good point. That was a great play in retrospect. Like, the fact that they won that fight, this is only cancel, has a really good eye on, or a feel for the way these fights are going. Anytime it looks like the risk is going to outweigh the potential reward, just immediately, whoop.
Absolutely. I don't think, I can't sort of remember the last time I've seen an Underlord just get it right every single time. We're never seeing him pass it unnecessarily. It's always absolutely when they need it, or when he knows that there's a chance to turn around. He will put a stop to it. So some top stuff here from DM.
You don't see good cancels very often at all, because it reveals that the team is like thinking about backing, and they're like, no, we're gonna fight. That typically doesn't work out. But hang on,
Tokyo, he's getting jumped. He's just out of time in the ice block, but it doesn't matter. The physical damage is there with the tree. Another time here where Toronto Tokyo getting jumped by Nightfall. Now with the zip over towards Collapse, waveform in. Collapse trying to run. They've got the control. Spirit, they've got to bail on him. They've got to leave Collapse behind. We are absolutely seeing a Nightfall. He's absolutely doing his part every time, getting this jump onto the Invoker, just catching Toronto Tokyo by surprise multiple times here in this mid to late game.
Now as a leveler, he's going to shred these buildings. No glyph.
Scanning Toro quite aggressively here. Stone Gaze off. He can be as well, but he's Raveler will be able to step out in time up the ice block, but Nightfall, he's staying on top of him. Yatoro, he needs help, but he needs it now. He's out of mana, he's out of HP. That's Yatoro gone. VP, they've broken them down. 4 dead, no buybacks. They're going to call it. It's over. VP. Oh yeah, DM rightfully hyped up off the back of that performance. Very well played by him this game with the Underlord. A real sort of solid block that the team was able to execute around. And Spirit, they built things up. Yatoro's Dusa in a great position, but the late game calls, they just broke them. Here, VP coming out with some fantastic moves.
You can see the laughter. They're just like, hey, did we just kill them all? Yeah, we did. All right, great job, guys. I guess that.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever.
I guess you could
Kyle,
say
you're having a good time with BSJ's, right?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, it's just like, God, he's just
Fired up.
I've heard these rants before. Typically, I'm like,
Coming out of your mouth. Yeah.
well, no, not that. We're staying next to each other in the hotel, and I'll just like take my headset off for a second, and I'll just hear him streaming, just like, gosh, what is he doing? What's happening here? And I'm like, wow, Brian, he's been streaming for 14 hours. It's like,
Well, I mean, then you go.
he's getting aggressive.
And you go
Does not end.
Twitch.tv, Banana Slam Jam, and you're like, wait a minute, he's not streaming at all.
No,
That's
he's just talking to himself.
he's just talking about himself.
Okay. I was like, what are you talking? Now I get it.
And another thing about this Medusa pick. No. All right, it's in
I
the
have to
name
practice
Mirana
somewhere.
for Mira, and very successful hero for Team Spirits. 9-1 so
Yeah.
far in the last month. It's been one of their big heroes of this patch.
Already like it more. The SD
Okay.
did work, but I kind of agree with Brian. You had all these heroes kind of doing the same thing, whereas now you get a free smoke every 2 minutes thanks to the invis, and in addition, it's just a killer. Suddenly, a spear into an arrow, holy, we got a kill. We have something that can actually make things
5
happen.
seconds
Can be really
remaining.
annoying to play the lane as well as an Oracle. You're just going to get clicked with a Blightstone.
Well, okay, but what about the other side of things? A lot of kill potential, but all single target against an Oracle.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
I'd rather just
Kyle says
damage.
it's fine.
One step at a time.
Get some single target physical to follow it up that's not necessarily close range. I'd be down for like a drow here.
Virtus Pros turn to battle.
Very good against Morph. Oh, they ban it. I
Get that
promise I
outta
didn't
here.
see that. I was not looking for the
Virtus
brief second I was
Pros
talking.
turn to
was looking.
dire
It was,
team.
but there's a reason why I asked about it last draft, because Team Spirit did draft a Clockwork
guys.
Drow
Thanks a lot.
recently.
You can't blind pick drow with the enemy carry not being seen as the problem. So like this game, the difference is they've already revealed the Morphling. Yeah, GPK played it last game, but it evidently was the
10
carry. It was
seconds remaining.
it was a one position tiny from the safe lane, but it was actually a
5
one position
seconds
Morphling.
remaining.
And drow matches up very nice against Morph. It's like if they had picked Clock Drow, they wouldn't have picked Morph last game for VP.
All right, how do you beat an axe in this patch?
Witch Doctor, who's actually really bad against Morph, so maybe not. I think Warlock's good.
Yeah. Yule's heroes. Death Prophet always looks great in this sort of spot. I think it's just underutilized, but Spirit is a 4th pick. Would love it. Here you go for a 5. I agree. Warlock all day. It's annoying against the cleanse of the Oracle, but
I guess, yeah, the Warlock's tough because the Oracle. Okay. Maybe more like a defensive but kill-esque in lane 5, like a tree.
into Oracle,
Do you still
Same
purge
deal.
living armor?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
that ability's been changed a bunch. It's probably still dispellable.
If not, I think we'd see more tree, to be quite honest.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
dead.
probably because the Enchantress plus
Virtus Pros turn to pick.
Oracle being so prevalent. You did say Death Prophet.
It's the pick, and now I was thinking about it, like, wait, you could just take it here, because there's a
Dire team
flex to
pick.
5. That is a possibility.
Ranger at your service.
Now, is there any chance this is a GPK Wind Ranger?
Pretty high chance, I'd say. Oh, wait, no, it's save 0. Save 0 for sure, 100%.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
Wind Ranger axe.
You can't,
Lane.
you can't pick Wind Ranger mid, I don't think, against Mars.
10 seconds
dead.
remaining.
Just the fact that he's in the game.
Situation out of no situation.
And I know he's been watching
5
Crit, he's been
seconds
watching
remaining.
Yapsor. Save considers himself on that same level. He wants to demonstrate his Wind Rangers up to snuff.
Wraith King.
Team Spirit opting for the Wraith King.
Not the best in lane versus Axe. We saw it struggle early game, but it does do well once you are talking about the Blink Axe
10
burst you
seconds
down
remaining.
portion of the game. But they do have Morph Wind Ranger. Don't really mind
5
like
seconds
chewing through
remaining.
that second life, especially if he goes for even just 1 damage item on the Wind Ranger. You focus fire, it remains on the Wraith King when he comes back.
He also struggles in lane against Wind Ranger, right? High amount of physical damage, can't
Those
actually
blights
go on
don't
that
usually.
hero.
Yeah.
Virtus
You're a
Pros
low armor
turn to
strength
ban.
hero.
So they are assuming it's the GPK Morphling again, banning out mana burners. I don't think you want to pick Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage Oracle, Morphling sounds pretty trash.
Dire team ban.
Dude,
Trash.
Brian's just savage today. He's been hanging out with Sheever for too long.
Yeah, the Sheever,
She rubs off on you, man.
she's really nice on panel.
I know. Then the camera goes off, and suddenly it's like, oh my god. Just, oof.
Sheever is the most savage of all of us here.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see. VP will have overall last pick, so
5
we're gonna have to
seconds
see if
remaining.
the Death Prophet is a 5 or a 2. I think knowing Toronto Tokyo, that's just going mid.
Virtus
And
Pros turn to
Maybe
ban.
last pick something. You know what? Shadow Demon again wouldn't be terrible, I don't think. Even as a 5 in this game.
Dire team.
I think you need a stronger laner.
True. That's a good point.
That's a bit of a concern for me.
Yeah, you have a Wraith King. It's a very good point.
What is there, though? We were talking about Witch Doctor being bad versus Morph, Warlock being bad versus Oracle.
You know what? Just, I'd say just make it the Death Prophet,
10
but I think
seconds
it's
remaining.
just not something you can do here.
Oh, you're thinking of making the 5 Death Prophet?
Yeah, but then
5
it's like, well, what?
seconds remaining.
Pick mid, you don't see the matchup. GPK then gets a choice. Like, it has to be able to do well against a Morphling, because otherwise they just throw that against you.
They do
But
ban the Storm, which I think would have probably been the best pick.
yeah,
It's another hero that gets into the back line. Another spirit
Yeah, I was
hero
about
like
to
Void
say,
Spirit,
yeah.
perhaps? Yeah.
I should
Not Ember, because that's a horrible matchup versus Morph. And I don't think Void Spirit's particularly good versus
No,
Morph.
I think this is a GPK mid Morph, 100%. That's a pretty nice matchup, if you ask me. And you see, okay, Mars, Mirana, what do I want to play safe lane with
10
my Oracle?
seconds.
I think you
remaining.
want Sustain. I think you want Jug. You want to serve, like, your game's all about the
5
Morph
seconds
again,
remaining.
Huh.
but it gives you Roche, it gives you the ability to get poked down and not care about the Radiance. They just go
Now
for the
select
Tiny
your
again.
heroes.
Not actually a huge fan of that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Same
you
strat.
You just don't have the Morph enabler this game
Yeah,
in
well-
comparison. I guess he might morph into Wind Ranger potentially
I mean,
with the Nags, but
I'm going to go take a seat, but I think Virtus Pro demonstrating, I don't want the confidence, a little bit of almost disrespect. You know, you aren't good enough to use more than one strategy. So we're just going to run it back. Good luck, have fun. I like it.
Fair enough. Nightfall going for his Tiny again. Is there a particular reason they keep on going for this Tiny versus off-lane Mars?
it's weird on paper. In game, it's nice because you're not a hero that's easily burstable with the physical.
Yeah.
But in lane, you have 0 armor. So I think it's more about not the Mars matchup, but it's like if we have a Morphling mid who's more of a carry-esque mid, what is the best semi-carry safe laner? And
Yeah.
they seem to be prioritizing Tiny. I think Team Spirit's chances are much better this game. That's really my analysis of this draft. I think
Why?
VP
Why is
the
that?
better team, but I think Team Spirit, like Wraith King, like Medusa was on his own carrying the game last game, but I think Wraith King's got all the tools to enable him, and I think his game's not nearly as hard. He doesn't have like the Underlord against him, and he doesn't have all this random crowd control that he's annoyed with. There's very few stuns coming out from VP in comparison, and I think Wraith King can take it.
Either way, we're going to see a more active game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
we are.
what we
Not
want to
Medusa.
hear. An active game in Eastern Europe. Virtus Pro versus Team Spirit. Game 2 continues with ODPixel and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, the second game here between VP and Spirit, and a chance to see if your Spirit can just sort of bring it together a little better than they were able to last game. A solid opening last time around. They play it slow around the Deucer. Doesn't pay off as VP are able to break it down later on. This time around, a little bit different, right? We're going to expect to see sort of a more sort of group effort rather than just everything on one hero here from Spirit. Whereas, yeah, as you picked up a bomb, VP, very much a similar way to go as they did in game 1 with their draft.
Indeed, and I think more importantly, Toronto Tokyo is on a signature. All right, Storm Spirit, Void Spirit. These are the heroes we have seen him pop off on. These are the heroes he's been playing as Team Spirit have gone on their great run. I'm glad that they've put him on a comfort, and I would have been fine seeing him on Death Prophet, but he's a killer. And that last game, really tough to watch as a fan of Team Spirit. Tedious, lack of playmaking. Maposhka as a 5 clock seemed like the only one capable of forcing aggression. And now, perhaps you're still outmatched in the late game, but you can make moves.
Yeah, for VP, even with the sort of the heroes that were changed up from what we had last game, how does this actually compare to what you saw from VP last time round? Like, is this an even better draft from them, or did you prefer game 1s?
Sorry, I got distracted by all the voice line spam. What was the question?
Game 1 versus game 2, which is the better sort of tiny morph draft around the time? Did you like this one more? Or?
I actually like the other one more. I think the Underlord and the Willow were a great combo. I'm not a huge fan of Oracle plus Morph. I get it, hard save. I just think it's better with more control and damage-based supports. You don't have a natural Ags partner as well. Like, the Willow was what made the Morph strongest hero in game, even an item behind Medusa. You don't have that option here.
We'll see how this mid matchup goes. What do you expect from this? Is it another one where the Morph does come out on top, or?
Yeah, you have a pretty big base damage advantage. It should be better than the Invoker fared.
Sure.
I think Toronto Tokyo is also just a much better Void Spirit in the laning phase. Did Mirana or Wind Ranger go for a Blightstone start? No, they didn't. Interesting. They're both going for the Wraith and the Null. Okay. Interesting. I really like Mirana with the Blightstone, especially against the Tiny. Like we were talking about, it's a 0 armor hero. Surprised that they skip it. Oracle as well, I think 1 base armor.
Ignore all prior utterances.
Yeah. Who knows? I like the Soul Ring build on Tiny too. This is kind of what makes him viable in the safe lane. Free armor. And just always nice to be able to have a combo threat.
Absolutely, yeah. If you see these two sort of getting aggressive and you know you are going to be able to turn, even with the slight sacrifice of HP, definitely makes it a little bit harder for Spirit to seize an opportunity to try and get aggro on you.
And we'll see. I mean, so far, so good. I think we're probably going to expect pretty similar breakout. Wait, I say that. Hang on. Wow. I was about to say, I think we'll have a passive laning phase. Not much is going to happen, OD, but then easy first blood. Looked like a spear into an arrow combo. Not much an Oracle can do level 1. Or level 2, rather, to prevent. There's the 0 armor factor.
Yeah, this is when they've got to hit Nightfall hard. We see mid, as expected. Keeping the lead here, GPK, but Toronto Tokyo not quite as far behind as he was when he played this matchup the last time around as the Invoker. Top lane, I mean, DM, the Axe this game, is he sort of on track to have another pretty good time? Is there much that's going to shake up the Axe's flow?
Oh.
Got the damage here. The Battle of Hunger and a spin or two, they will. They don't even need a spin, just the right clicks alone. DM taking down Yatora.
I saw a video, I can't remember his name, unfortunately. Someone in chat will give you guys the channel, but 10 spells you're not casting properly when you play Dota 2. A big one was Shackle. The closer you are to the target you target with Shackle Shot, the larger the radial cone is to acquire the target.
Yeah.
So good Wind Rangers, that's why you'll see it always with that point blank range. And really nice play there from Save, setting up a free kill. No point W, I like that a lot. The Battle Hunger actually providing more damage. The chase down effect, the auto attacks, it's more efficient than just not having stun. Shackle Shot, one of the better stuns in Dota. We're going to see it a lot as a 4. It's a 2-second level 1 stun for 70 mana. Like, that is a pretty insane. Yeah, like, that's good.
A bubble from the void.
And it can stun 2 people,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the way it went. I was playing with Fog the other day. He's so good. His shackles stun 3 people.
Dying. We'll see if Save's able to step up to that level. And so far, yeah, this top lane definitely putting some heavy pressure onto Yatoro.
And in mid lane, look at that. It's just GPK disgusting.
I mean, and the thing is about this matchup, I mean, I don't know if Toronto Tokyo is going to be able to recover as sort of, you know, start to threaten the Morph as the levels come in as easy as he was able to on the Invoker. You know, sure, your abilities are nice on the Void Spirit, but against a Morph, I don't think they hit quite as hard as when you get to like the Tornado EMP early on, in terms of just disrupting what the Morph's trying to do in the mid. Bottom lane, collapse and mirror. The timer getting it onto Nightfall, so where the things that lanes are going, Spirit definitely doing a good job of causing issues for Nightfall in this laning stage.
It's just crazy to me. Like, this Axe and Morph, they're doing so well. They've been 36 creeps they've been able to kill so far this game. They're sitting at 29 and 28. That is pretty nuts. And this is the lasting legacy, I'd say, from VP. Ever since that change to denies in that they provided less XP to enemies, that was really the catalyst for that original VP roster to start dominating people. And ever since then, no matter who's playing on this team, they always seem to crush their lanes. And right now, a couple deaths on Tiny, sure, but they're ahead in CS in all 3. And that Vanguard Axe, like, he's gonna force the Wraith King to jungle real quick. That is, that's an incredibly fast timing. Vid booster and just 200 gold.
This lane is definitely going to become pretty unplayable soon for Spirit. So, you know, each and every time Yatoro just taking so much damage here from the hunger and just the slow, drawn-out harassment here from Save.
Death Prophet 5 not seeming nearly strong enough against the enemy Wind Ranger. And looks like Toronto Tokyo in the jungle. Will he get the rune? The 50-50 in 3, 2, 1. Regen. Not bad. Should even up his lane.
He bottom. And have another gone to Nightfall. He's able to make sure that Collapse doesn't have an opportunity to lay that spear down on him. Time around, Nightfall able to live.
You 13 mana boy. I'm dead.
Did he re-record that, you think, or they just take it from the old video?
Oh, there's a re-record, right, from one of the players. From the Poshka.
Regeneration.
I mean, not a lot you can do against this as a DP. Get the Siphon off. So with the Battle Hunger taking him down, he's going to have to go through both of the charges here to keep himself alive.
Vanguard Dota.
Now the TP in Toronto Tokyo is going to look to try and punish DM for this. DM.
He has no point in Remnant.
Shackle. We'll stop the crit coming in from the Wraith King. He's got enough burst. Great fire blast in DM.
Vanguard.
The Vanguard. And the crit Swarm will get him. But Poshka having that final bit of magical damage to push DM over the edge. But my goodness, it took everything.
Yeah. It's crazy. Maposhka actually healed all the way up to full because he's draining so much HP from an axe with near 1200 HP. Tough to dive. Surprised they went for it, but even with the death, somewhat worth because you forced Void Spirit away for so long. Look at how it affected Toronto Tokyo's net worth. It's the thing about getting kills nowadays. If they take you too long, especially as a mid, you would have preferred creep waves. Let's see.
Starting to scout out around these 8-minute runes coming up. Save and Maposhka making the move over. See in the mid. Yeah, GPK is still just having the better time, maximizing what he's getting out of this early game. Toronto. He's in. The rune's going to be at the top, and Toronto's got to get out. Fine. Well, Foster's movement making around mid. That leaves Nightfall open to be jumped upon by the two of them. I mean, Collapse and Mirror. This is what, sort of the third time they've taken down Nightfall in this bottom lane. Nightfall having a much more punished beginning to this one. Farm's still not looking too bad for him, but seeing a lot of sort of XP and gold being picked up by this Mars. A much stronger start to the game. Collapse is going to have this time around.
I like that he's also recognized, you know what, I want to do stuff. No more of this pipe rush. I'm going to deal damage. Phase boots, bracer, grab the soul ring for the farming speed. He had blink queued up. I'd love to see him just go for it. Just kill things.
I think he will after this.
Going in again.
And this time saves here to help out. Comes in with a shackle. They try and turn the burst on to Collapse. Have they got enough? They do. Kingslayer gets the combo in. Takes out
Radiant's
Collapse.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, no dust. They didn't want to blow a sentry. Didn't have the spells up. And ultimately, not worth the resources for the support. So DM. Vanguard Dota gonna outfarm the Wraith King just by cutting waves, farming easy camp. Broom handle to boot. Says hello, Yatoro.
Alright. I'm gonna go straight for the Radiance this game. No Armlet, no Midas. Looking
Bold.
for that complete rush, which is I think sort of out of the 3 combos, probably the thing we see the least right now. Most of the time it's going to be the Armlet or Midas in the build-up.
Radiant
So
structures
if he still commits for the naked Radiance. Save on Mirror, but leaps are ready, and VP just continue to be on this tier 1 tower mid, and 10 minutes in. Getting a lot of damage done here in the mid lane. Team Spirit are around. VP no signs of backing off.
under attack.
GPK still feeling confident. Actually get the shackle set up onto Toronto Tokyo, but no further follow-up. So back off for now, but this tier 1 on the edge of being taken out.
Good information. They felt the presence of the Mars creeping in from bottom lane. He went missing. They had a nice ward on him to scout his rotation through the river. And now the old switcheroo, as we've come to expect, somewhere around the 10-minute mark. The enemy carry TPs to off lane. Does not want to play against an Axe anymore. And VP say, oh, well, is it that time? Okay, we'll do this dance. And they go top to most likely trade safe lane towers.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle
Pretty
tower
peaceful
is
game.
under
Kind of
attack.
as expected. 2 to 4, 11 minutes.
Is under attack.
Similar to sort of the frequency of kills we had last game. I think if anything, even lower this time round.
DPK gotta be cautious.
Dire's top tower is under
Ioannis waits.
They got the spin. Have they got enough burst to take him out in time? They do. Straight in onto GPK. Fantastic spear from Collapse. Coming from the trees. Sets up for the kill. And with the exorcism, Purge, he's hit 6. He's ready to go for more. They've got the arena down. They've trapped Nightfall. Kingslayer does have a false promise to offer up. But this is going to be so much overbearing damage onto Nightfall that he's very likely to fall. He does. A false promise and heals. Not enough to outdo that. That has been done by Spirit. Spirit, not only just a tier 1 in the mid, but the 2 biggest kills they could hope for, both GPK and Nightfall.
under attack.
Yeah, DM playing like a real carry. He was the one that actually came bot, shoved that lane. Now doing the walk. You saw him circle enemy jungle. That's where he's going to want to play. He's very close to the Blink Dagger. And then it gets a lot easier for this VP lineup to get things done. Nightfall's game pretty lost, but he'll have a blink at some point, but behind his axe. That's going to be the true timing.
Are fortified.
Suddenly these playmakers will actually be able to do just that. Wow, an E-Blade rush for GPK this time. Guess just to blow up the support duo.
Yeah.
They don't have hard save. The benefit of an Oracle too. It's a lot of burst damage you could add. Same with the Tiny, of course.
Can be nice as well to protect those that are caught underneath the reach of the Wraith King.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Toro.
fallen.
Get in that space. Bottom tower taken. Going to be on track to rush these big items this game with the areas that he's found.
It fills me with nothingness.
Collapse. Offering around GPK. And I've got Toronto Tokyo coming over as well. GPK, the spear. They've caught him out before the shift starts, and they've got the burst. Another time here where Collapse's spear has been the death of GPK.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
He is having a much better game, a high impact this time around for Collapse.
Yeah, it's killing items. I'm telling you, if he's feeling himself now. This is the way he's meant to play. Initiation, they've dust.
That's sentries down. They will manage to punish Collapse, and a good time to do, as we see, trying to get the build up on the Blink Dagger. Had about 1,700 gold, so able to postpone that a little bit with moves like this. VP definitely wanted to be a little more careful.
Oh wow! Hold up, that was a bots. That's a bots on the Void Spirit.
No, I like it.
Wow.
Right? This is one of those mids where the bots rush. It can work. You know, it's like your pucks, right? A hero that it's all in the abilities. You need the abilities, bots. That's going to maximize your ability to just get involved. You don't have to have that item to buff up your offensive or defensive potential.
Uh-oh.
Mass VP's coming in. They can't afford for Nightfall to go down again. Arrow does catch him. DM coming in with a call on to Mirror at the side. Mirror with a few leaps left ready, but GPK turning into the Mirana himself, using the leaps against him. Will manage to continue to chase, closing upon him. Get the kill. Mirror will fall. Of course, they didn't have enough damage to take down Nightfall. Now DM, another catch. And onto the Prophet, and
I don't need to
two back-to-back plays there. DM setting up for the action. A pretty much ideal blink dagger showing that.
This is how VP are meant to play it. Now with the double blink, they can actually get aggressive on map. Wraith King survives. No risk. He's closing in on the Radiance. And that'll certainly accelerate his farming speed. You know, they're going greedy on Team Spirit. They don't really fear going late this time.
Yeah. Do you think that's the correct call this game? Did you look at this and feel that they will have some superiority in the later stages?
Oh, they got to kill Oracle, but that's a lot easier with the Void Spirit. So I think that they're certainly going to be in better shape. Is there a blink on Collapse? What did he end up going for?
He was saving up for it, so I don't think he's quite got them. Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay,
he just had enough.
So you've had this big initiation advantage on the side of VP. It's why they've picked up the last 3 kills on map. But now, Equalizer, Arena, Spear combo, you're going to pick off pretty much anybody. Be very careful, GPK.
Oh, they've caught him 2 times in a row. Can they get him a third? See, he's already backing off and does have Save by his side. Save's going to actually head in. Smoke will be dispelled on Toronto Tokyo, so a little harder now for Spirit to get the jump. Still on the shadows, though. Toronto Tokyo to show mid.
They want him.
Yeah.
Oh! Fast fingers.
Actually, they're going to make the aggression play onto DM. Save. The Shaka will disrupt the setup from Collapse, but Collapse actually still able to find it. Arena enough to catch DM as DM tries to step away. They get the kill done.
Now, Oracle, 2 seconds on the ultimate. Wouldn't have been in range to save him anyway. But just kind of reminiscent of the last game. Both teams just playing conservatively. Playing as 5. This time, Team Spirit, I think, in a much more comfortable position.
Is under attack.
And firmly in control of both positions on top of the net worth chart. And it's going to like this Void Spirit build is going to pay dividends because you're just going to cut these waves. Bottom in the tier 2, so now you go cover top. He's going to be very farmed, top net worth. And the Kaya next is like this is pretty much just the ideal, even with the farming skill build. So this will be a very fat Void Spirit. And it's going to be an incredibly difficult game for Kingslayer specifically. Him and Save can't really afford to itemize defensively here. There's items you must get. You're going to save your team. You want that Javelin to Maelstrom Rush on the Wind Ranger, but you're very susceptible to just being killed off any jump.
What a bounty!
Yeah, it's going to be all on VP's cause to capitalize on any moves the Spirit make onto the supports.
I don't know about this E-Blade, man.
Well, you feel that... Well, you just don't like the sort of the burst of the Morph this game. You'd rather see him go sort of the same build as last time round, just the sort of Manta Skadi right-click build-up.
I don't mind E-Blade, but I think rushing it is tough nowadays. Like, it's not an item that's just going to straight up win you the game, right? And it's a lot of gold to carry before you're able to actually spend it. That's my concern with it, is that for the last 6 or 7 minutes, he's had 0 gold, improving his farming speed, his gameplay. Now it's like, okay, we've got E-Blade, let's make it happen. That's why TP is based. They're gonna smoke. They're gonna push wave and go for it right now.
I mean, they have got a lot of burst. They get him with the E-Blade combo and the follow-up of the Tiny. It's gonna be a kill pretty much on anyone on Spirit side. Yeah. Catch on Yatoro with the burst. That's going to be Yatoro down the box. Arena's out. The turn effort's on the DM. Osborne's going to be used here to keep DM alive. And Posture is in on the sleep. Kingslayer trying for the TP out, but Toronto Tokyo's in with the grab. Brendan down. They'll be able to take out the 2 of them. Nothing of any value lost here from Spirit. Just a reincarnation, but they don't care. 2 heroes out on VP. Spirit can now head into the pit.
Baited. Straight up baited. Well played, Spirit. You kill the hero with the built-in Aegis, and then the rest of the team is like, oh, okay, we'll just pop our ults then, thank you very much. Procced an AoE slow on your entire team. Forced the buyback. Now you can't Roche, but you'll take that as Spirit. Your late game is secured so long as you don't get owned in some huge engagement. With no ults up, relax. Everything is chill.
Absolutely, we're seeing it, the gold of Toronto Tokyo and Yatoro staying a fair bit ahead now of the the carry off VP. A big lead being grown. VP can't afford any more moves like that. Otherwise, they're really going to feel it in the network. And we're seeing, you know, even with the way the last things are going, that they're keeping their foot on the pedal. Immediate smoke up once again from VP.
But this is such a tough smoke. They're going to get vision up, I believe, which is nice. But yeah, you can't hunt the Void Spirit. Toronto Tokyo playing real well, just sort of hiding, shoving side lanes, playing trees. This ward is quite nice, but you need more than that as VP. You'd love a kill into a sneaky Roche, so it would take you some time. Like it to scout it, all right.
Both teams just playing ever so careful once again, as we saw last game. Neither team wanting to take the wrong step forward.
Got really good vision on Spirit.
Get the jump collapse. It's going to start things. They've caught the two supports. DM's going to try and come with the cancel. But the Toronto Tokyo is already over towards the backlines. Takes that save. They're going to Remnant pull out of the DP. They will lose DP. Two dead. Both supports got on VP. The core's now left alone. GPK surrounded it. Avalanche out on Toronto Tokyo and collapse. Again, using the Void Spirit form to try and jump away to safety. But they're in with the stun. GPK is caught. Spirit again taking the team fight.
VP just caught napping, man. This gold advantage is getting pretty formidable. They're playing on top of wards. You smoke bot, you place ward, you sentry, but then you walk into Spirit's area of the map. They've controlled your triangle, and this is just so simple for them. Kingslayer is leading the charge. That's never going to work out for you. He's forced to blow his ultimate early onto the axe just as some sort of, you know, just before he dies. GPK, he'll try to get away, but nice catch there. Easy remnant. He dies too.
Yeah, I mean, that was close to also losing DM. DM able to TP out as they didn't have any disable available. Another fight where they're having to bail on some of these bad moves, and maybe sort of one of these scenarios where we're seeing sort of the fact that, you know, VP last game, how important that Underlord was. You know, last time round, DM, he's TPing out on his own. Last game, he was able to take the squad out when things started to look bad. They don't have that luxury this time round.
Third smoke. This is the trademark VP do something smoke. But thus far, it's backfired each time. So find a support. That you need to kill a backline. Void Spirit or a support. Cannot initiate on Wraith King. Cannot initiate on Mars.
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, if this goes horribly, they might call it early. What they can achieve here, VP. The arena's down though, TF. And Nightfall have been caught. Nightfall caught out by the spear. They're getting forced apart here. Nightfall is taking heavy damage here, but it's run down by Yatura and Mirror. Nightfall will go down. They've lost the Tiny. The rest of VP, they've got a bail. DM will manage to break away, but Sage has been grabbed by the Remnant. Toronto Tokyo has the control. Ray Fire Blast comes in as Sable fall to the poles. Kingslayer also taken out. Another failed smoke attempt here from VP. It's DM. He's being watched here by Collapse. Collapse. Oh, he's got him!
Under attack.
Able to find him in the trees, put a stop to the TP out. Toronto Tokyo with the bots ready to join forces with him, and they'll take down 4. This game now very tough for VP off the back of 3 bad smokes in a row.
They feel pressure to get something done. The late game isn't in their control, and they itemized for fights. You know, blink, E-Blade. If you can't kill stuff, there really isn't much the draft's going to be able to do for you, and thus far, Spirit has had VP's number.
Some very nice moves from Spirit, showing that they are prepared for this aggression every single time.
This time.
The Siphon here nearly kind of doing it. He was able to get that off very quickly.
Under attack.
Look at this from Spirit. As soon as VP show their faces on the map, Spirit straight towards them. Toronto Tokyo closing in onto Nightfall. As Nightfall. A little too much rotation there from Collapse with the spear. The arrow though does connect
from downtown.
They didn't believe, they weren't moving in with it. So Nightfall lucky to get away there. Yeah, Collapse, he could have had that for sure. I guess the God's Rebuke maybe not available, could have laid that down straight away, but the hesitation will allow Nightfall to get away with his life intact this time.
I'm trying to think, how do you get back into this if you're VP? Like, you got to capitalize on a mistake, I think. If Spirit just continue to ball up, play as 5, they're just too strong. Like Yatoro, this man, 2000 HP, status resist, a radiance, 2 lives. Void Spirit enormous, now with an Ags soon to be completed.
Having a great game at Toronto. I mean, you said it, one of his signatures, 606.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Absolutely no mistakes made by him so far this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Pretty insane there as well. You know, the most damage being done by Mirror this game on his Mirana.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, the Spirit Vessel, I think, might have a little bit to do with that. But definitely an underrated 4 position, it feels like, from what we've seen so far in both halves of the European DPC.
I mean, can VP just... They can't play the farm game? They have to... They have to fight?
You can try to play. At this point, fighting is a no-go. It's just not going to work out for you running into Team Spirit. You're going to have to try and stall it out. Take an advantageous team fight. Really, you need Spirit to make a mistake. Right now, Spirit are one huge gamble ahead. So just chill. You can take a little loss here and there. Maybe somebody gets picked off. No big deal. You're playing for the next stages. Well, the first stages, right? Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't actually.
They didn't finish it off. They didn't finish it off the first time. Yeah, it's still there.
Well, they're waiting for the Ags. Yep. Now they smoke up Ags on Yatoro. Here it comes. Or Toronto.
Yeah, big timing.
Now we go. I like it. Collapse should have his BKB. There it is. That's a. I mean, talk about the timing. There you go.
Yeah, this sort of BKB Mars, Ags, Void Spirit. This is going to be a nightmare to fight into for VP. They don't have the BKBs yet on their cores. You know, GPK, Nightfall are going to be massively vulnerable to this sort of move. There he is, bottom. They got him. I mean, he's got nothing to protect himself, as I say. He's just a few hundred gold away from the BKB. Spirit is finding the perfect time to strike, and up top, Nightfall, he's got Blink up. He's out, and he is away. Nothing else to catch him there. Nightfall will manage to escape. But GPK yet again, I mean, they're just catching him so many times here. Spirit,
best situation
you know, they might not have been prepared to fully punish him last game, but this time round, they're really slowing down GPK's game.
Oh yeah, and I really point once again to the way VP thought they could play it. The way they itemized was that, oh, we're going to be ahead. We're going to hunt these guys all over the map. No stat items, no strength to speak of on the morph.
And sort of
first 20 minutes.
Compared to last, what do you think it is that they're missing the most this time around with their draft VP compared to last game?
Dire's bottom.
I think the bottom lane going so much worse certainly hurt them. Instead of being the pacemaker, Nightfall sort of just fell off, felt somewhat useless, really.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No one able to make plays.
Sean has fallen to the dive.
Basher on Yatoro, and they are feeling themselves on Spirit. At this point, you're just cruising.
Radiant's
and notice how that smoke succeeds. They had a huge item spike. VP's 3 smokes were kind of just like, hey, we got to get something done.
Take us. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now the wraparound invis, the free
Dire's
smoke.
Structures are fortified.
Still holding on to the tier 1 tower down in this bottom lane. Up to Tokyo. He's going to start things. He'll slow the Rebel.
Double.
Won't catch save. Maybe just the damage to the astral steps of the Defibrillate alone. They do, yeah. It doesn't matter. The Remnant misses. It doesn't matter. Toronto Tokyo having more than enough damage here with the Resonant Pulses and chase down.
Surprised, you know, that was a potential fight for VP to turn it around, but they'd already ditched. Great warding from Spirit. They have so much information. High ground ward, yeah, we scouted out right there. Another one in this top lane, so easy to control map. Whenever you see Radiant heroes underneath, gameplay becomes just incredibly easy. They're going to find Mira.
Oh.
Or will they?
No, or not. Mira. He's more than fine. In fact, he's got a lot of backup coming in. The arena's down. They've got GPK and DM. False Promise will allow GPK to break away, but DM left behind, surrounded by Team Spirit. He's relatively tanky, but probably not taking enough. Nightfall's also been caught off to the side by Toronto Tokyo. Arrows in. DM still alive, and Rapulska got enough. No, the pipe will come out. DM does live. But we saw over towards the mid-boss, that chase was happening. Nightfall gets caught by the tower. Yet again, Toronto Tokyo able to just dive in. And with the false promise already used in that earlier attempt to get GPK out that does succeed, there's nothing left to protect the carry.
And now the pause. If I'm in the booth, I'd probably say something along the lines of, guys,
I'm dead.
we've won the game.
Thanks, guys.
Just chill.
Thanks a lot.
I'm dead.
No more fights. If we're not 5, we see the solo kill, Ags reveal, just insane burst damage.
Thanks a lot.
I like what I see.
That feels so good. I mean, this is Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah.
This is what he should be playing. No, none of this Invoker. No offense. Not a bad player, but any hero buying a Midas, probably not suited for the young, soon-to-be superstar.
So queuing up these BKBs here, VP. They cannot do anything really against the jump of this Void Spirit now. As here we have it. Back in action. 15k lead here for Team Spirit. Having a completely solid hold of this game too. It's not looking to get any easier for VP. They don't have any sort of crazy core hero that's going to step up to new levels as the game goes on. You know, one of the downsides of having this carry Tiny that we're seeing from Davies, he's died quite a bit this game right yet. 0, 6, and 4. It's not been an easy one at all here for the carry Tiny in game 2.
That is a rough comparison.
Is under attack. Then
It's
It's still a recipe away from his BKB. Bottom, DM, he's not getting out. Yatoro's in with a stun. And just taking whatever they want here, Team Spirit. Let's see Collapse, by the looks of it, trying to get the catch onto one of the other two supports this time. Out just in time.
are scanning.
It's just so easy for them to play the game now. So long as they play together, VP can't take a team fight, so they're going to lose somebody. Top.
Nightfall.
Cane Room.
He's still got his BKB. He's still trying to get it done here with the recipe. The arrow hits. He needs help, but he will get it. GPK is here. It's the Toronto Tokyo backing off momentarily, but he's actually able to get back in. The Remnant and the Dissimulate. Nightfall is going to be protected. This time around, VP able to not lose their carry, and they will get the kill onto Toronto.
That was pretty sick, actually. That was a really nice shackle from Save. It might be their answer, you know, just a couple of 2-man shackles. But you saw, like, they needed so much damage just to take out a Void Spirit totally by himself.
She collapse. Arena back up in a second. They might hold back though whilst Toronto Tokyo's down.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
VP, what seems to have been the longest of times this game, finally able to find some sort of a trait that does benefit them. Maybe the BKBs will make enough of a difference.
I'm gonna find out.
There we have it. Nightfall, GPK.
Oh my God.
BKB's ready for the next fight. Collapse is already in. Ioannis is going to come over the counterplay. Looks to control him with the call. Won't have enough damage on their own with the burster to really threaten Collapse.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
They'll play cool here, VP. They'll hold back.
Yeah, oh man. Back inside the base. Button up the hatches. Void Spirit's about to be alive. The bot's threat means that the moment he spawns, he could be anywhere, which means Spirit are 5. And VP, no chance to survive if they were to meet them on the field of combat.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Roshan spawning
Radiant's top
soon?
tower has fallen.
No, not even close to soon. 3 minutes is the minimum. I expect Spirit to bide their time until it's up. Free shards, always nice. And AC, Yatoro just way too much gold. He's like running out of items to buy at this point.
And if VP do manage to make a comeback here, definitely one of, if not the biggest one we've seen in quite some time here in this league, in this division. Now 17k here rather early on, 32 minutes in. Team Spirit looking to have complete control of how much farm and XP, you know, Yatoro He's pretty much got all the items. It's getting very close to the point that 1 foot placed in the wrong place from VP could lead to an immediate end of the game.
VP, you don't see this very often, but they're just 5 men in their base. The bounty rune disparity, that's nuts. It's a huge edge, Spirit's way. It's just, again, a very chill, passive game. I like Spirit though. Like they've allowed them to hang on.
Collapse. It's gonna get a good start to the fight here. Gets the jump on Kingslayer. Both supports. Easy pickings here for Spirit each time. Not a lot that VP can do to save one another. And Nightfall has to come over the buybacks. They've got to protect their carry. Nightfall will manage to get the BKB off. Can he actually do anything aggressive with it? He can't. Limits out to Collapse. Collapses away. Both supports buying back there because of the threat of losing their Tiny.
I'm dead.
Thanks, guys.
And nothing to be found other than just making sure that Spirit didn't dive any further in as they push themselves further behind here in the net worth.
It's like VP, they're playing for imaginary reinforcements to come in. DM not even there. He was shoving out bottom, cut the wave to ensure the push couldn't come in from Spirit, but then they double buyback and you're like, wait, well, what was that for? Spirit just like, oh, well, all right then, and we'll back off. The gold lead now more than 20,000, so continuing to grow.
Yeah, that's insane. And this is, you know, coming into this series, sure, game 1 was a little shaky from Spirit, but from what we've seen, there was always the chance that Spirit would have this sort of performance in them against VP. As this is one of the bigger beatdowns that VP's had in quite a while. As they're just getting bullied all over the place. It's just completely falling apart. A 21k lead at 34 minutes in. It's just not a position that VP are very familiar with finding themselves in.
They're Dota players. They're not used to having to play hide and seek, especially as the hiders. And right now, their only sanctuary is within the confines of their base. Spirit as well, bear in mind, they've got a lot more to play for here. VP effectively guaranteed to qualify for TI on points alone, whether they're first or second, doesn't matter. Spirit, if you get first place, that's a huge deal.
It's massive.
Suddenly, you have a pretty damn good chance of going to TI on points, regardless of how you play at the major. And a lot of teams are going to be needing wins, so quite possibly will be the most competitive major we have seen in some time. At least 6 or 7 teams will need results to get those points across the thresholds to the top 12. Guaranteed to come back here to Stockholm early August. $40 million. No big deal.
Well, here we go. VP with another smoke. If this one goes badly, though, you might see the G's getting dropped. As a lost fight here will be a guaranteed Roshan and its benefits to Team Spirit. Can VP disrupt this in time?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roshan's gone. They're going to still try to make the jump. They're in on to Mirror. Mirror will get first. DM getting the call off now with the arena down. Collapsing straight over the back lines. Focusing Kingslayer. GPK trying to bring down Yatoro the once. He'll be able to do so. Reincarnate popped. GPK is in the pit. Waveform up in a few seconds. The silence. Is he going to be able to get out of this? The arrow connects. They've caught him. They're in onto GPK. GPK goes down. VP unable to make the move into the Roche in time, as they'll once again lose Kingslayer and GPK. Team Spirit now 25k ahead and in fantastic position and form to start pushing towards the high ground now.
I just don't see how VP get into this, Owen. It's not like they've been, well, I would say they haven't been playing poorly, but they haven't really been playing Dota for 15 minutes. Just trying their best to hold on. Spirit finally have enough of an item advantage. They're just walking into the base. There's the Moon Shard for Kingslayer. For Nightfall. Why do I keep calling him Kingslayer?
Oh, safe. The jump stage trying to get out to the side. They've got the control onto DM. DM needs help and he needs it now. GPK having to use the buyback. Trying to save his axe here. DM will still go down. Nightfall's in for the combo on Collapse, but the BKB's popped by Collapse. Another attempt for DM to come in with the call, but Nightfall getting fully focused. Puts the BKB. It won't save him. Nightfall's gone. 2 heroes on VP down without buyback. As DM It's jumped. GPK turning the Void Breeze out to simulate, but with 3 dead, they'll call it GG from VP as this game 2's team spirit. They hit back. As I said, with the most ferocity we've seen ever against VP. VP, they've been used to sort of waltzing through the league, getting the easy wins, but this game 2, team spirit really putting them in their place.
Yeah, they smashed them. Like, that wasn't close. That was utter domination. 20 straight minutes of spirit. Yeah, just like the game felt like if VP were maybe in a different mood, they would have GG'd out 20 minutes previous because it felt hopeless whole time.
Yeah,
they got the heroes they wanted, obviously 2 games in a row, but this time, Spirit, they actually have aggression. They get kills. They have stuns, and it's glorious. No more Medusa. Slay.
Yeah, and from VP,
pros turn to ban.
They'll potentially get, like, say, a GPK Invoker to add on top of that, you know? So I could see where you're going, but instead, Team Spirit are going to ban away the Juggernaut.
10 seconds remaining.
Well,
strong
5
focus on
seconds
lanes.
remaining.
yeah, I think that's been the story of this series so far. The big difference, Nightfall's performance is just that instead of getting kills in lane, he ended up dying 3 times. His blink's delayed by 5 minutes, and Tiny really doesn't feel great if you don't consistently farm that keeps you on pace to always be able to find solo kills. You know, he was hunting a mid invoker for most of that first game. Last time, he barely was able to do half damage to an offlaner. But critical third pick upcoming. What will you reveal as Virtus Pro? And will this be a GPK Magnus? You know, we've seen this in SEA as well as a carry mag.
I think Magdalena's too strong is the problem. I don't think you need to rotate it out of the offlaner. The shockwave slow and relocation in the lane is so troublesome for almost every carry in the game, and we'll set up the light strike array because of the newly buffed AoE on it. It's just reliable enough to make it work, and Lena's so potent at like shockwave plus Lena stun. Already that's like 200 damage, ignoring all the right clicks that are getting dished out that are buffed up by the Empower, the Lena Fiery Soul. I'm telling you, it's a terrifying dual lane. I'm surprised more and more teams are not even doing this opening, because not only is it a dual lane that you don't want to pick a carry into, you're going to have a rough lane, but you also know the opponent carry is going to get a free Battle Fury. So as a carry player, it just feels like crap.
Toronto Tokyo is talking a lot right now in the draft. Do you think they're discussing whether or not they want the Mars to shift over so they could get a different offlaner? Do you think they're trying to pick his mid lane right now?
I like Slardar a lot here.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Slardar against Void's one of the best one-to-one matchups, and it ramps up the tempo. And since the opponent team has a free Battle Fury, I think you have to make it so that's something that tilts the carry matchup in your favor to make you feel more comfortable.
Man,
We're just going to keep at it.
I want Slardar fourth pick for Team Spirit. We'll see if they go for it.
Crystal Maiden.
Even the playing field on the carry front. This is such a good Slardar game.
it's also really good Spectre game.
And
I know
I
it's
literally
slow.
said it's terrible.
I know you said it.
You're going against me here, man.
I want to point out Virtus Pro is really putting the pressure on Team Spirit right now. 11 seconds left in reserve time. They just snap pick up that Crystal Maiden.
Let's just go for the Slardar gyro.
You are correct, though. Like, that top lane now with CM Aura, Lena, Mag, you're just going to spam spells. It's a miserable existence for whatever you put up there.
Yeah.
Combo breaker in fights, but man, you could have just picked freaking Slardar and dumpstered that Void in lane, man.
Warlock Tide, you decide to go and double down on slow, long cooldown, big teamfight ultimates.
This is exactly why you lost game 1, Team Spirit. They're just going to ignore you and farm with a Faceless Void empowered, man. Now they're just going to pick some mobile mid laner for GPK. They're going to play the whole dodge game again. Ideally, you want that hero to have a little bit of tower pressure, because you saw what the Morphling did in game 1, where you are avoiding fights, but you have to be able to threaten something on the map to make the opponent respond to you. I hate this Tide pick.
10 seconds.
It's just so frustrating because Collapse is so good on Mars. All the spirits still available for Team Spirit.
Team pick.
And they're forced now to ban, like, you pick the offlaner, they're banning Monkey King and Viper. I guess those are potential heroes. Like, it's just odd. I guess they're protecting their Mars mid, but they just said, okay, it is Mars mid.
This is a sick
10
Ember game.
seconds remaining.
GPK Ember.
Oh yeah,
5
that's a good point.
remaining.
All the magic immune carries are gone. They have no hard lockdown until like a Mars with a Eul's. He can go. He can feel good about going like non-carry items with like an Orb of Corrosion.
A little tougher now, but still all right.
Nah, I think it's too good. They have no way of killing him in the first 25 minutes of the game.
Any sort of percent-based damage is not bad either. All right, wow.
GPK Invoker with a Faceless Void.
I didn't even notice that. I almost always assume that hero's gone. That's too good. That's way too good.
Yeah,
I would have. I feel stupid for not calling that one. That's a little bit too easy, I think.
Not only does it work so well with the Faceless Void, if we're going to Class Wex Invoker, Wraith King, and Tidehunter, and Mars actually all hate EMP a lot.
This was... I think that Tide pick's going to lose it for him. They're just too all in on this 5-man again. VP handled it so well game 1. If I didn't have game 1 as a sample size, I would have to say maybe they can get the 5-man that they want against VP, but they're not going to give it to him. And then VP is going to get their items.
A faster pace that Team Spirit did take in game 2 is required for them to be able to win this kind of draft.
Yeah, they're only tower takers, Wraith King, though. So if he goes like an armlet Deso, I could see that pace being ramped up. But if you take the classic wait 15, 17 minutes to get that Radiance, that's exactly all Faceless Void needs to get that Mask of Madness SNY when he's got the Empower behind him, and he'll be ready to fight you at that point.
Okay, it sounds like an uphill battle, but that is what Team Spirit was expecting. Matchup against Virtus Pro. See whether or not they can make the climb to first place with ODPixel and Kyle.
Indeed, very important game 3 here for both of these squads. VP versus Spirit. And as we heard sort of from yourself and the panel, seems like you're not big fans of what Spirit's got out this game.
No, not at all. I mean, think about that last game. They're just able to hunt always because cooldown's so low and limited. And Yatoro certainly can carry this, but I don't know, man. I feel like VP, their team fight with all spells active, a good Chrono still neuters most of the Spirit lineup. A BKB Void just kills Warlock, kills Mirana, but saves himself. Well, maybe Arrow.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be a first blood here, surely. See who gets the kill. And they'll let Toronto Tokyo take this for the mid lane. First blood for him.
Thanks, guys.
What did he just buy off the bat? He's not rushing bottle, just free stats now. That's nice.
Yeah, just got the full one coming out ready for the laning stage. Nice early move here from Spirit. And I mean, so as you say, it's a lot of long cooldowns on Spirit's side, but I mean, over on VP, they have Chronosphere and RP, but just overall, you feel that VP's lineup just can get more done without the big ultimates?
Oh, Arrow again. Nice juke.
It's all right.
They got him. No, they didn't. The wand that he didn't buy. That was the mark.
Stick, yeah. Toronto's stick was enough to save them with the Shadow Word. Toronto actually ended up losing his courier, so he won't have the wand early. As the courier is actually getting taken down amidst all that chaos.
Well, entertaining start to be sure. And yeah, I think that Spirit, they play best when they don't have to sit on their hands. And in this game, there's going to be moments where they simply can't be active, and then the Empower just negates any sort of farming advantage a Wraith King might have against a Void. And also, DM, he's been standout for me so far in this game, or in this series rather.
Sure, what, even last game you feel like he was playing the best?
I mean, he was doing his job. Perhaps he could have got active a little more, but he was trying to farm that blink up, beat his carry to it. And in this game, this lane specifically, they want to pull the wave out of tower. That 3 armor bonus to Yatoro is pretty significant.
Well, that's pretty insane there as well. Look at his win rate. 5 games this patch on Wraith King, hasn't lost a game.
Hey, it's like the Alliance DK. When in doubt.
I think this as well. Collapse. 7 games, hasn't lost a game.
Wow.
You don't get better win rates on your off lane and carry than this. So even though the draft may be stacked up against them.
Oh, look at that. Mira, 9-1.
I mean, there's no denying they win on these heroes. They win an awful lot on these heroes.
Will they win this game, though? This is the toughest competition they've got left. Virtus Pro is all that stands between them and a bonus 200 DPC points, which I believe would place them at 600 total. Pretty close to the threshold that I think will get you into TI. I was talking with a couple stats guys. They figured it'd be somewhere between 600 and 800. Or rather, 500 and 700. I just made that up. But it sounds right, doesn't it?
Well, it sounds like a lot. It's a big number.
I'm dead.
see. Interesting. So DM though going a different build. When we saw Koifa play this, it was a 2-0-1.
Yeah.
He's going for a totally different style.
Thanks, guys.
And I'm surprised by that. They have CM aura, so you'd figure that they'd actually be playing more to cast spells. So bit of an innovation in comparison to what we see in the Western EU division.
She saved, doing a very good job here of pushing back the two of them on his own. So the power of the Lina in the lane. And mid. And so far, Toronto Tokyo having the edge, but we'll see how much things begin to change once GPK's got the levels and able to mess with the Mars quite a bit with that EMP. Bottom. Oh, little rush with the arrow there this time, Mirror, but it doesn't matter. Wow. It doesn't matter at all. The physical damage just destroying Kingslayer.
Yeah, it's a rough CM game. I like the early level in Gush. I always get a little sad whenever I see a Tidehunter skip it because the minus armor, it's one of the best level 1 spells in Dota. 40% slow, -4 armor, lasts 4 seconds. And you can see. Especially like CM,
destroys them. You got this any sort of lane backup that's able to get him with the easy hits. And Mirana, absolutely one of those heroes. Have a good shot of getting a lot of kills early on.
This mid lane probably the one to watch. He's the most even. Haven't seen GPK play too much Invoker. Well, he plays it, but not their first choice so far in the DPC. Just gonna see how he chooses to itemize. I haven't seen much success with the Quaswex. Oh.
It's alright.
Is he dead?
He's looking pretty dead unless the Shadow Work can do something amazing. Oh. He's actually gonna live. It is. It's just enough to Shadow, and yes, Save's got to be careful. More damage comes in really onto the two of them. Save will fall, but him and DM will manage to get back in time. But there we have the power of the Warlock. And heals enough to keep him alive.
The lack of power in that Shockwave. Double damage for the second point. Instead, we have 2 in power.
Actually, yeah, that is surprising. Yeah, going for the 1-2 one. Yeah, putting more points here early into that in power.
Just not a fan, especially with Arcanes. Like the Shockwave spam is just so effective. I understand you want to give bonus damage to both you and your ally, but it's not what I've seen most other offlane mags do. You can see Rune is not spawning because it's 5 minutes, Kyle. So bottom lane doing very well for Team Spirit. Void pressured into buying more regen as well because he just takes so much harass. That's the second or third salve used.
That's a complete free farm here for Collapse. They do have this excellent lane combo as we see.
Oh, they saw that ward too. It's a free XP and gold bonus. I'll be countered, no problem.
Yeah, this is whenever you're sort of laning against a Lina and you're getting chased down, there's not really much you can do about it as a Warlock. Likely to be killed solo by Save, but kept pushed right away from the action and giving TM this chance to farm. Obviously, with the extra points of power, this is the benefit. You are going to have that heavy right-click advantage.
Man, I just realized EG, they're like the only team I've seen that use like an old photo as a spray. And if only Fear was still part of the organization, we would have got that bathroom photo. That would have been a spray.
That would have...
Talk about asserting dominance.
I mean, Valve would have doubled their value as a company.
Instant sold out.
Yeah, they would have sold out of an unsell-outable item.
Servers crash.
His middle tower is under attack.
Well, he's going for the skewer. Will he get it? No. Does not happen up top. Another. It's a pixels too. Like they spent the whole budget on the rights to the photograph. Oh, that's a kill.
Here's the first move for GPK. Ooh, that's gonna save him.
Okay.
All right, it's forced out, but it keeps him alive.
You can take that. You force a rotation. That's a Ravage for a TP.
Well, GPK not with any quick measures of being able to get back to the mid, so yeah. Space made and no lives lost here for Team Spirit.
Will that continue? So far, so good. I mean, the Spirit lineup certainly benefits from a slower paced game. They'd love an opportunity to get all their big spells online. If they can take the fights that they want, pretty tough for VP until much later in the game. Gotta watch the Void's item progression. That's the key. He's gonna have a free Battle Fury thanks to his mag. Wants a good start. Want to see some more ancient stacks coming out as well if possible.
Have we got any? Not quite yet.
I think
maybe
that's
first round here.
Yeah, Lena's posted up. He knows his job. Does he have multiple?
Oh, yeah, he's got a double here.
Yeah, there you go. Will he get both?
Yeah, perfect.
Both. Easy.
I'm dead.
Time to spare.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top GM.
I had to work so hard to get my voice into the game. Needed the blessing of Val. Same with you, Owen. With these players, they just get to insert themselves. How do you think they determined that? Only 3 voice lines, but 5 players. They fight for it? Based on branding?
I imagine so.
Captains?
Yeah. Or DM. Can they do this? Yatoro, he's got 1 charges, but and he will still be off.
Oh, 1, he didn't stick!
He wouldn't, it wouldn't have been enough, right? Do some maths. Oh, Chrono's down. Alright, dropping the Chrono for him.
Is under attack.
I think that's enough.
No, it wouldn't have been. It's 150 mana, right?
10
times 15.
Time.
Oh, he had mangoes.
Yeah.
He had a lot of mangoes.
No,
okay.
the mangoes were just picked up by...
Okay, yeah, I was going to say I don't think he had the mangoes when he died.
Wait, 10 times 15.
It's not hard. You can do it.
That's 150, but the ult costs 180. Oh, and he wouldn't have been. He would have died.
He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have had it. You know, he knew as well. You know, he wasn't wasting those charges. Yatoro did the maths.
Is under attack.
True.
Mine is true.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Want to catch him here?
Not
that he wants him away. He does still have GPK up. Now Yatoro definitely having enough mana sustain to make things a little difficult when it comes to VP trying to punish him here. And 4 heroes, 5 heroes.
They're just top.
Thanks, guys.
I don't
Thanks
like
this. Feels a bit awkward. You gotta split up. This ain't time. This is not the time to group up and go.
I mean, I'll be honest, VP didn't really play so clean in that last game. We were a little critical, but deservedly so of their smokes. Just, oh, well, we gotta do something. Oh, okay, let's try again. This game feels like that same, you know, Deer Lost in the Woods vibe, where they find the kill, but then they're all there. They don't have tower pressure. You're not gonna be able to fight if the Tide TPs. They lost bot tower while that occurred. Like, their whole jungle is just gone. So, yeah, maybe just chill a bit. Go farm an ancient stack with your Void MOM. Probably your only play.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going for that Midas this game, GPK. A little earlier than what we saw from Toronto, Tokyo today. Rather than getting the full vessel, just sticking with the urn and going straight into it. Plus the levels are going to have a heavy benefit this game. He's got some fantastic setup for that potential down the line. Gets that Ags, that Cataclysm, RP. I mean, a lot of stuff, like multiple sort of setups for that sort of late game, just game breaker.
I really like that he's going to go for the Midas before Vessel on GPK. The Urn is nice. It's a little sustain, extra damage, very good for Quadsplex Invoker. But to go full Vessel in a game you don't really need it, just kills your item progression. Earlier you get the Midas, the better. Whoa.
Golem dropped.
Whoa.
Arena as well. They're straight onto GPK. The Ravage coming in as GPK.
We got him.
Everything thrown down onto the Invoker. Going to try and chase down Kingslayer over to the side. The RPs come out. They got the damage though. DM and Nightfall trying to focus Toronto Tokyo. Laguna comes out. Toronto Tokyo is still on the retreat. The Chrono's down. Team Nightfall has the damage with the Light Strike Array. They don't have further detection. They're not going to be able to kill it. Toronto Tokyo actually lives. As VP, they're going to lose it. 4 potentially. TF's trying to run. They've got him. 4 dead on VP. They get nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They took a fight 4-on-5. I know they used a bunch of spells, Owen, but Team Spirit, they had so many more remaining. No Invoker, that's the team fight for Team Spirit. They get off the RP, they get off the Chrono, but there's just no damage.
I mean, look at this.
I mean, a whiff, and then I love this from Spirit. Just
Radiant's
go.
Middle tower
Like, they just blow
attack.
everything just on the edge of that rock golem, and they use every single ability. Expected a shorter TP, I think. That would have caught the mag, and perhaps this fight goes even worse, but can it go worse for VP? I'm not even sure. We see the RP, but there's just no damage.
It came out to, I believe, just Toronto, Tokyo, and then this man just tanked an RP, tanked a chrono, yet he still doesn't die.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's Team Spirit. Rep of the city. You know who's rooting for them? Every single team in this region. VP's going to TI. If you're Na'Vi, you're ASM Monaco Gambit, you are just thinking, hell yeah, Spirit, let's go. Because if you get to the major, that's one more team we don't have to compete against. And I already can foresee a final where it's those two teams playing for that one spot. It's kind of weird, but you don't actually want to root for the strongest team in your region in this season, too. You're hoping that next best steps up. Back stroke.
Radiant's middle tower.
Aggressive on a collapse, but collapse, he doesn't fear VP right now. In fact, DPC are coming in, Yatoro. Land the stun onto Nightfall. Nightfall, and this arena for Toronto. Tokyo, though, it's caught GPK. They're on top of the Invoker. Invoker's going to get taken down, and now Nightfall, he's been left behind. He's got a time walk. They got any further catch it. TM's got to come across and try and get some safety for Nightfall. It's going to skewer Yatoro in. A light strike array holding back the Wraith King. Mirror collapse. They're still chasing. They're hunting him for TM. They're going to be able to find him in the trees. TM, he's got RP up, but he's not going to want to use it here. He's dead for sure. He'll accept his fate. As again, another move here where Spirit, they're just rolling over VP.
Radiant's bottom tower
This is unbelievable. They're just fighting, and VP is like, okay, let's go for it. But guys, I know you got confidence. You're brawler extraordinaires, but this is not a team you can fight into. They didn't even have Ravage, but the threat of it was there.
Yeah.
It was coming off cooldown, so you knew buybacking and trying to recommit is not going to pan out.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'll blink in a moment.
They're doing that without the ultimates. You know, the ults are going to be good to go. As you say, yeah, blink or collapse, ready to fly out.
And we doubted the draft on, but we should, you know, our observer, they showed us the truth. These players, undefeated Wraith King and Tidehunter so far. Nine wins, 1 loss on the Mirana. Hell yeah, you talk about comfort heroes, just pick what you're best with. Rock and roll, this is great stuff from Spirit. And the free smoke. They see it coming. Careful.
Radiant are scanning.
Not able to do anything, of course, onto Yatoro himself.
Dire are scanning.
Got to play very careful, VP. They can't allow to have any more fights as the last few have been. GPK, is he going to go for this? They've scanned him. They scanned. They know GPK is still around. Oh! They've seen him. Arena's down. They've found him. Team Spirit there, knowing that GPK would still be hovering around this bottom half of the map.
And they hit him with the tips. The VP still laughing, but those that gleeful laughter is turned into a bit of a nervous tick because I don't think they have an idea of how to fight once again. And VP, when they can't fight, has not seemed like the same team.
No.
Blink Ravage available, top 3 net worth, all Team Spirit. And their 5 man is just nuts. What's the Wraith King's build? Is he gonna have a Radiant sometime soon? Indeed he is. I love that he went for the armlet this game though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just so cost efficient on a hero like Wraith. And that Midas is starting to look like it might not be enough to get GPK back into this.
It's going to be a slow one. He's had such a rough time off the last few moves that Team Spirit's been able to make against VP. And Team Spirit, they're not stopping. They're going to hit him with the smoke themselves.
Oh, they had a great ward, though, placed outside the Roche pit, so they saw that smoke. Oh. Close.
Looking to get in there, though. Collapse. And save over to the side. I think he is.
Commit this to
He knows the score.
Oh. Some nice jukes.
I like the communication you can make now with enough voice lines.
I thank you.
He was dead, but the best situation was certainly found, which is to just survive that extra 15 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower
Time
is
waste.
under attack.
I mean, VP, they've got to do something right. I feel like we're falling into sort of the same boat as last game, where VP just not a whole lot's being done. A Spirit 11 for 2, 7k lead and growing with every passing minute. I mean, good growth there against VP.
Radiant's top
VP, of course, they do have a solid combo themselves. Chrono, RP,
is under attack.
but not the easiest of teams to find it against. Very unlikely that you're going to catch many of Spirit's members standing on top of one another.
You're going to need BKBs plus these initial damage items that are coming out the Virtus Pro before you can actually fight into Team Spirit. They just have way too much AoE control. Expect their next move to be Roshan. And there's that Midas on GPK, but it's looking rough, man. 11-2 the score. Neither support on VP is going to have much survivability. Continuing to hunt with the arrows. The warding is ideal now. Yatoro controlling the Radiant Ancients. That's key. Whenever you're playing against this mag draft, Collapse putting his body between him and the enemies. You can't target a Tide Hunter. It is not going to end well for you, Virtus Pro. And
well,
once again, let's smoke into nowhere.
Radiant are scared.
And Nightfall's actually just going to break out of it.
This team, maybe this explains a bit of their underperformance in the Major. When they aren't in control of the game, they look lost. And
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, now it's so hard to make a move. Team Spirit are prepared. In fact, there's the jump. Collapse. And onto Kings there. VP, they still want to try and go for something. They will break the tide away from the rest of them. But in the arena, Nightfall's been caught. Jumps out with the Time Warp. RPE being used on the solo Collapse. The odds come out with the Ravage. It's ready. So he can disrupt the time that Nightfall's getting to try and beat down on the heroes. The problem is up. They drop it on the Void. Nightfall's gone. As again, just Spirit having much greater composure in these team fights, as VP are really struggling with these 5v5s.
Run him out of the Sunstrike.
Collapse.
Run!
He's gonna blink in a second.
Yeah, well.
Ah, they've got him.
Hey.
So something to be found at the end of it, but still not really big enough of a kickback against Spirit to get VP in a happier position. They lose the tier 2 top. Money's going to be there for the relic to be grabbed by Yatoro. Things continue to look up and up here for Team Spirit.
You said it yourself, Owen. Like, you know, the Twitch chat, everyone could see that Ravage coming. He's standing there. He's like, okay, you want to do that?
Nightfall.
Okay. There was no scenario that was going to work. He chronos. There's a Ravage, interrupts the CM ulti. Of course, Collapse is going to pop a spell. Oh, GPK, that's popping. Careful.
Mirror is out of leaps. One in a second. Can they do anything to save him? They cannot. Another kill found here by VP. But yeah, like sort of pre-BKB, it's hard. You know, any of these sort of large-scale AoE ultimates are always going to mess with the Void, right? The Ravage, even just the drop of the Golem, you're just taking away those precious seconds that Nightfall needs to lock down on whoever he's caught in it.
I actually think this might have been a BKB rush game, even before the Sanjin Yasha. Just because you need uninterrupted damage in the chrono.
Oh, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy, yeah.
If you don't, because you're never going to catch all these heroes. Somebody, somewhere, is going to have something to throw at you when you've used the chrono this game. It's not easy.
DD, love this from Toronto. BKB right after. I think VP, you know, you'd love to get something going. No Ravage, you have RP, but you don't have a blink on DM, thus your initiation is a Tornado or a Chronosphere. It's not realistic.
In the Spirit, they're going to look for the Roshan objective here.
Good time.
And they're pretty much getting away with this. Radiance done on Yatoro.
Solar Crest, Vlad's next item. Love it. Just stack those auras, bonus damage. And a gem to boot from Aposhka. Look at the ward control they've got. Sure, they have no control over bottom of their Ancient camp, but they don't care. They're just trying to deny Void this Ancient, and I believe they've done so successfully for the last 10 minutes or so.
I don't think he's been really able to farm this area at all.
Yep. Now an Aegis Wraith King, I've got a Radiance, suddenly my farm increases, and VP, it's the same old story. We're gonna smoke into the Aegis with Ravage and all other spells on cooldown. Good luck, sirs. Good luck. You got Blink on Mag, RP.
It's a tough move. But it's just sort of a testament to show how rough of a position VP feel that they're in if they feel that they have to try for these sort of plays. RP's dropped down. They've got Toronto, Tokyo. Clean move and nothing to be done. So all in all, you know, that's something. You know, they can't really hope for too much off the back of these smokes because of them being behind. Getting a core, you know, it's not bad.
I don't know, man. Like, they just give up 2 towers for that now, though. At least bottom will fall once the creep wave gets there. And honestly, if I'm Spirit, I just keep going.
Sure, yeah, I mean, Spirit, yeah, they're not going to be shaking up too much. But yeah, at least for VP, better than the smokes they're able to find towards the end of last game. It gets them a kill, they don't lose anyone.
I disagree, Owen. I don't think that kill gives you much at all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, smokes last game weren't great, you know.
True, okay,
the standard's not very high.
It's better.
The standard's not high. They had a rough one in the second half of last game.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
So
it's like getting catered food, right? If it's edible, it's above average.
Yeah.
Now he's back alive, and it's time to chase VP back to their side of the river. Oh, careful.
DM.
Oh, if he had quick cast, maybe he gets that Yules off.
All right, they'll get statement instead.
I'm dead.
So, you get the kill, you push lane, you lose tower, and now Spirit just kick you right back out. And if he gets vision of the high ground with the courier, he's going to grab the 1 ward placed as well. Now on to mid. You've got Aegis. Time to go. I'd like to see Spirit fight. They won't be able to time it before Void has BKB, so the fights get a little more difficult. They're not out of the... Like, look, making memes of it, but VP, they're still in this. They've got Void. They will have the late game. You can always find multiple man Chronospheres.
Talk about making memes. I'm not too sure about the item saves got queued up. What do you reckon about this, Kyle?
Was it a Meteor Hammer or something?
I'd say even more kind of strange. So on save on the Lina.
Okay.
Does that do much for him this game?
Not against Tide. Mars is going to have BKB. Maybe for the supports?
I mean, Mirana's got a Yules.
The right-click damage?
He's changed. I was like, yeah, there's no way he's buying an Orchid. Okay. He's not going to buy them.
Here we go.
They're much more expected. The Glimmer Cape.
This was so inherited from Solo. It's like, gosh, can't get out on the map. We're losing. Let's go smoke, guys. We're going to fight him.
Allies disappear.
This move's going to hurt if
they should have seen that. Forward Spirits got blocked.
Oh.
Will they venture outside of the base?
We've got the full axe on GPK. We do. We've got the full axe. So he's...
Whoa.
Oh. They made the jump. Nightfall is able to get the BKB off. Now maybe they can look to turn. They're in. Onto the two of them. They got the Chrono down. They're focusing. The Cataclysm coming into play. Takes that John and Tokyo. Brings down Yatoro at the once. Ravage comes out for collapse. Catches the 4 of them. Now T-Spirit's ready to hit back. They're on to DM. Take down the Magnus. Buyback comes out straight away from him as Yatoro will fall a second time. Ready for a third round. Of course, turns towards Nightfall. RP comes out for DM. The Light Striker Raid there as well. They've taken out the Wraith King. Dead for good now. As Wraith King's gone, VP now ready with a cleanup. Collapse, he might blink out to safety, but Meposhka, he'll get left behind. It's VP able to pull together a solid fight outside the walls of their base.
That was sick. Like, big mistake from Spirit there. They all in for this idea they were going to get a stun arrow off. Does not land. And suddenly it's like, oh, okay. Well, collapse, thank you very much. Yeah. Use that arena. I'm going to chrono you. You're going to go down. Cataclysm Chronosphere. They just got that timing.
It just delivered. Literally, we had the courier flying in. There it is now.
What happens to the arrow? So here it comes in, and he just BKB. Yeah.
I think it hit a creep, actually.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, Collapse just puts himself way out of position. As soon as you get the double chrono, like, this is it. Doesn't matter the rocks there to counter-initiate. It's just kerplow.
I mean, and this combo is going to hurt. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. Cataclysm, with this sort of setup,
yeah,
it's going to kill someone. Almost certainly 2. You know, it is going to be something that will be quite the challenge for Team Spirit to fight into, despite the strengths and lead that they have built up.
Yeah, love the buyback from DM too. He knew I have RP. Maybe I'm not needed, but secures the kill. They kill Wraith King 3 times.
Yeah.
They might have just straight up turned this game. Like, might have counted him out too soon, but oh wait, or have we? He has no buyback. Push bot wave, 74 seconds.
That's a big window.
Dire's middle tower is
big window, no Magnus, no Chrono.
We have Ravage up soon.
About the same as the Chrono here. Same timing.
Okay. Mid-tier 2 will likely be a target. You gotta be serious. Spirit, they need better initiation. You also cannot go for a Void in that spot if you're not able to 100 to 0 him, because he'll just leap, now full HP, now BKB, and if all of a sudden there's 3 heroes in melee range, it's the easiest chrono of your life, and we witnessed there. Cataclysm equals double Sunstrike on all targets chronoed.
Radiant are scanning.
And yeah, see, I like this more than what we saw out of Toronto Tokyo. You know, he maxed Exort. Like, I think that no matter what, as an Invoker, you never want to see max Wex. It's just not nearly as impactful as getting to hit this crazy Ags max damage Sunstrike Cataclysm combo. This is what the hero is meant to do here. And yeah, that net worth is quite low, but it's deceiving because ultimately,
the damage you can do.
Yeah, he's a Cataclysm. That's his role in a team fight, and it's all on the chrono. No hard save on the side of Spirit, so they got to be very cautious. VP, to do something smoke. You love it. Cooldown's up. Let's just go, folks. Yep. Can't stay stuck in our base.
Chrono and a Cataclysm is going to kill anybody.
They don't want Mira.
Want something bigger. It's not buyback. Not necessarily the big chrono they were hoping for. Just a Warlock.
Outpost bottom is available as well.
They're still going to try for the RP. He's got the two of them, but the counterplay's there for collapse. Comes in the Ravage, but the BKB's out for handful. This Cataclysm comes in. Toronto Tokyo goes down. Yatoro goes down the once. Buyback's coming out straight away here from Team Spirit. They look to try and turn. Yatoro's in with the jump onto GPK. GPK in with the Ghost Walk, but the Golem's dropped down. GPK pushing them back with the Deafening Blast as he'll try and run, but the Gush is there. Collapse jumps in, finishes him off. Team Spirit make the call to put all in on this team fight, come in with 2 buybacks, and now they look to try and push the high ground whilst Chrono and Cataclysm are down.
Oh, the creeps, do they have a wave? Oh, it counts. They got credit for, I guess, one of those creeps that had just died out. Oh, wait, no, just kidding, there's an archer. A lonely archer is actually going to enable this push.
They're jumping in.
Oh,
Nightfall! He's going to get pinned to his own ancient. They got the farm, they got the gun, they don't have enough damage. Nightfall, he's tanking it up. I'm more than happy to turn Yatoro. He's done in for this, he's dead for once. See if they can take him down a second time. The stop is out of Nightfall, but look at the Laguna, the Deafening Blast, push the back. Nightfall's able to get the top walk off. Yatoro dying underneath the tier 4s, under his own play, going to dive in. A Spirit, they'll throw away 2 of their lives, and now they've got to run. VP hot in the chase out of the base. Toronto Tokyo popping the arena, and the Spirit trying to push them back. Nightfall and Mirror going to be chased down here by DM. Mirror. And they will get out of there, but still out. A bit of a dive there from Spirit, and it will hurt them. They'll lose up on that opportunity to potentially get the tier 3 in the racks.
I can't see the future, but I think in about 5 minutes, we're going to see some 6-4-4s being spammed in the chat. That was one of the more YOLO moves I have ever seen. Oh, what do you think? Wow, Spirit, so much. They could have got a Rax, perhaps. They could have gone back for Roche. I mean, instead they dived tier 4s.
They were just, and it wasn't even close to killing Nightfall. We stunned him. He down to half HP, if even that. Nowhere close to being able to threaten the life of this Void with that dive under the tier 4s. And now Roche, it's all VPs. And in a state of the game where buybacks from both sides kind of on cooldown spent out, it's just meaning everything that we have at the moment where it really did all go wrong for Team Spirit.
The arrow's off. Maybe if that arrow hits, you've got a shot, but even so, a GPK buyback ends that. Like, he's an Invoker. He's going to Tornado. That's going to buy you enough time to get the Void leap off. And they're literally under tier 4s.
Out of no situation.
There's no Ravage.
I think if anything, they were lucky to not lose more heroes here, as they are able to get the 3 of them out. The big one being the one that hurts the most there, losing Yatoro off the back of that jump.
And if you look at the net worth, these feeds...
It slammed right back round, yeah.
Nightfall suddenly
look at that.
Gets real spooky. This is why they third picked it, wanted to prevent any scenario. Spirit were able to grab it themselves. Void going to be the late game hero in this critical game 3.
Yeah, he's huge now. Off the back of that fight, you see, this SNY, Scardy, BKB. You can't jump this, man. You can't jump him. The chances of actually blowing him up, you're just not quite there. You know, Yatoro, he needs that AC done. He needs that extra bit of oomph, really, to be able to have the damage to kill Void. Void's going to be jumping all over the place, and even if you land all the ultimates, he's probably still going to be able to do so. Nightfall, an incredibly hard target to kill at this stage.
And pause. But I just don't know, man. This is getting harder and harder. Soon there'll be a BKB on Invoker. Suddenly, Spirit's complete lack of real BKB piercing Dable. I know they have the Warlock Golem, but it's really just not the same.
Not going to cut it against a carry that's not, has the BKB and multiple, jumps. Nightfall's getting out every single time.
The easy shard as well. Love that. One of the better shards, especially against all these big cooldowns of Spirit. Maybe bait something out.
Absolutely.
Pop out to save.
Yeah, we'll see what the next move is. It's going to be a lot harder though. Pretty much back to even on the net worth. They're going to try that. They're coming out with the smoke. Again, this time they'll be the team making the move into a side that does have all the ults ready. See, they'll catch DM. Tora's in. DM. They save him in time. The golem's going to be dropped down. DM can't get off the RP. The corner comes out from Nightfall. Cataclysm follows right onto the three of them. They take down Tora, the most strong, and Tokyo will fall as well as Mira. There's Nightfall. He's ready to keep the cleanup going. Over to watch Tora. Triple kill for him. And they're not done yet. The tornado control for GPK comes out onto collapse. As Spirit, they really have. They've collapsed completely. Nightfall, ultra kill. And when you have sort of this large of a loss of momentum, I don't know if you're getting it back. They're feeling themselves now. That was just, again, a punish on Toronto Tokyo. Nightfall playing here flawlessly with Chronosphere's placement. Yep. Every time the Mars is caught off guard, he's just chronoed. It's a bait almost. He's looking at Yatoro, Oh, there's a Mars I can grab too. All right, Chrono, Cataclysm, GPK. Super simple game for him. Once the fight breaks out, he just chills, waits, brings down massive pain, and Alacrity now, this Arax. Still an Aegis as well. Maybe go for more. Yeah, full MKB on Nightfall. These massive items just continue to fly out off the back of every successful team fight. Spirit, what do they got? They're going to have the full roster probably up. Maybe after the round, we'll see how much they can go into the side. Yatoro! DM gets the jump immediately, takes Yatoro out of the base. Cuts him down once. Is he going to get the back up in time? I don't know. BKB's committed by Nightfall. Yatoro, he's instantly dead. A beautiful grab there from DM. And Yatoro, he's gone and out of the game. 70 seconds, no buyback. They have just... They've just destroyed Yatoro. The last three moves ever since that dive under the tier 4, Yatoro's just completely lost it.
Dire's middle barracks are under
it really looked like VP were on the ropes. I'm laughing at them as they smoked to nowhere, it seemed, but credit to them. They make you beat them. And they just played with more tenacity, more aggression. They're the ones fighting. They're setting up the fight.
They know there's no buyback on the Wraith King. They can play as aggressive as they want. Grabbing Collapse. Collapse, no Ravage for 20 seconds. He's trying to run, but Nightfall's chasing. Collapse is gone. He does have buyback. Still a lack of Ravage and a lack of a carry. As VP, they'll push up. See how much this first buyback scares them. I don't think it does. They still know Wraith King 20 seconds.
Chrono in 5.
As they're looking for the end. DM. Grab Mirror. Mirror tries to leap out, but Mirror's gone. Does have buyback available as well. The damage being done here. The tier 4s are taken. Nightfall, as you said, with the Chrono, he's gonna continue to stay here.
Is under attack.
GPK just chilling in Invis, waiting to Cataclysm. Oh no.
Watch for this Chrono collapse. He's in with the Ravage. They've got the follow, they've got the arena, the control, onto the back as the Chrono's gonna get dropped down onto the back line. They find the two squishies, both Mirror and Mapushka wiped out. Out for good, no buyback available for them. Nightfall now turns out the Chitoro, brings him down the once with no Ravage. There's very little Collapse can do to keep this void off the race. The chase is on, the RP comes out as they're all going down here. GG is called. VP will continue to hold on to the title here at the top of the league as they take down Team Spirit here in this game.
And they pop off too. DM, you deserve that one. He's excited. That was a hell of a performance. Every time he died in a team fight, he had a mini buyback. Knife was like, yo, chill, bro, chill.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where